I'm the Grinch the way I make y'all feel. That's why you live. I don't know who you are. That's why you live in Whoville. That went hard.
Yeah, that one. And then his last bar was the hardest one. It was about Wakanda. What kind of verse are you killing or something like that, bro?
Oh, because he said Black Panther.
He has a yeah.
Oh, I like
he has a ghostwriter. I want to know who his ghostwriter is. I'm assuming this is
Well, he's like 7. I assume he didn't write that.
Hey, if you want to step into the realm of hip hop, brother, it is very frowned upon to have a ghostwriter. That's why Drake is getting the shit he's getting.
He's
right
a
now.
child.
I'm just...
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It's Thursday. It's December 12th. 12-12-24. That's an equation.
Wow.
Happy
Nice.
Equation Day, everybody.
Wow, nice.
That's one of the only equation days of the year.
Was 12-12-12 the day that the world was supposed to end?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Was it 12? I thought it was. It could have been. Is it the Mayan calendar thing?
Yeah, the Mayans. But then right afterwards, they're like, well, the Mayan calendar actually started a different year. So where were you before that happened to tell us that? Today's episode is brought to you by BlueChew. BlueChew is an online delivery service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew tablets are made in the USA, prepared, shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead and be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Does it work? Don't think you need it? Try it free for a month. You can see. You're going to love it. Your partner's going to love it. BlueChew wants you to have the confidence to perform at your best, so discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our audience. Try BlueChew for free. Just pay $5 shipping at checkout when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. Receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BlueChew for sponsoring Macrodosing. All right, we're back. The Vatican Archives episode presented by BlueChew. Also, they make a good point in that ad read.
It's kind of ironic.
Yeah. The most awkward part about picking up any sort of prescription is the distance behind you that other customers stand while you pick up your prescription and you say your prescription out loud. I feel like the distance behind has gotten a lot closer in the last 10 years. Like, people are now 3-4 feet behind you. And the pharmacist is like, what prescription is it? It's diarrhea.
Do they not just need the name?
Sometimes they tell you what your prescription is.
Okay. So you want social distancing back?
I want that. Yeah. So no, you're right. I don't ever say the name of the prescription while I'm getting it, but the pharmacist will be like, all right, so you've got 3 extra strength Viagra shipments here. I don't actually take Viagra, but they will say something like that. And then the people behind you, they just judge you. And I judge the people that are in front of me too. Subconsciously, I don't want to. They put me in that position.
That's why you always go to the drive-thru, though.
Yeah, so the drive-thru always felt weird to me because that's where I get my burgers. It doesn't feel like that's a thing where you could get medicine.
At least nobody's behind you.
That's true. I do like at the bank when they send that little that vacuum tube.
Those rock.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I forgot. It's been a minute since I've done that. Wow.
I used to love going with my mom just so I could watch her put the thing in.
Press the button, right? You never press the button? I always used to ask to press the button.
And then they send a lollipop back down?
Yes.
That's amazing technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
did a project in 8th grade about travel tubes. This was a long time ago, but I had theorized that we're gonna have a society of travel tubes in the future. So like from destination to your house to somewhere else, you could just transport in a tube.
Did you see the New York City to London thing?
Mm-mm.
They're talking about building a subway from New York to London that would get you there in an hour.
That's fire.
Underneath the ocean?
Yeah, it was going to cost some
$20 trillion.
outrageous amount of money. Yeah,
It would probably be super expensive to use too, huh?
I would imagine. So I don't know that I want to get from New York to London in an hour. That feels
I absolutely want to do that. What?
That feels unsafe.
You want some time? You want to enjoy the
So you're
journey?
going what? 1,500 How far is that?
Let's guess.
2,500 miles an hour?
New York to London.
I'll pull it up.
I'm gonna.
You guys guess.
I'm gonna guess that it is 1,900 miles.
Okay.
24.
Okay. Arian.
Hey, somebody sent me a clip of you being horribly wrong, I guess, and shit the other day, Big T.
You should. What did I guess the other day? I was dead on, and I was so mad.
It's so funny.
I forget what it was, but I was at home, and I got something dead on, and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
I'm gonna guess. I don't know. How far is it away?
That's
the
what
guess.
you're
You're
guessing.
guessing that.
Nice try.
Oh, calm down, Jesus! I was just trying to. My God, jump down my throat. Let's do. Let's see. The average plane is like what, 500, 600 miles an hour, right? PFT.
Depends.
Okay.
Depends what
The
kind of
average
jet.
Yeah, we
commercial
probably should have
airline,
done that
Jesus,
math.
you fucking plane guy.
Dude, you get me in an F-22. I'll get you
okay.
from New York to
Okay,
to
bro.
England.
Yeah, so this is what I did not need to know. I just needed
Probably
to know
like
the regular
an hour and a
commercial
half.
plane. I don't know, 1,750.
You're all very wrong. It's 3,451 miles
wow.
from
So I was the closest,
JFK to London. You weren't that close, though.
but I was the closest.
That doesn't mean you were right.
Oh, good point.
It means I was the closest.
Yeah.
I was
those are
talking
two
about
different
going
things.
through the curvature of the Earth, by the way, not like around it. So that takes out because
That's
we're
where
talking
you're
about
wrong,
it.
buddy.
We're talking about a tube underground, so you're cutting through the Earth, not going. But you don't have to look that up, Mad Dog.
Okay,
I'm just
I
making
won't.
an excuse.
By the way, we definitely just should have done that math because 600 miles an hour and it's like 6 hours, so that would have given you 3,600.
Yep.
Yep.
Good point. So it can get you there in an hour. It could get you there in an hour.
I don't
too.
want to go 3,400 miles an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't seem safe.
That's horrifying.
Why not?
Why not?
You're going 1,000 miles an hour right now.
Because if anything happens, like anything happens on that tube, you become paste.
I'm sure they're gonna do the proper regulations.
Are we?
Planes are pretty safe.
Yeah. After 100 years,
They were pretty safe back then, like in the 70s and shit.
not as safe as they are now.
And shit
Well,
still
that-
goes
yeah.
wrong with planes.
Yeah, is Boeing making this tube?
Not very much though.
More
But
than
relatively-
zero.
But I mean, that's anything. Walking isn't that safe. You know what I mean? Like shit happens when people walk. That's just life.
Right, but you can have something go wrong with your plane like Captain Sully
Mhm.
and you live. Whereas if anything goes wrong on this thing at 3,400 miles an hour, you evaporate.
Well, let's do this. What is actually fueling it? How is the energy being
Yeah, that's a very valid question because 36. How fast is that? 3,600 miles per hour?
34.
3,400. So that is
Or it actually says 54 minutes, so it might be 3,600.
okay.
because
So
if you're talking about a combustible engine, that I understand you're great. But if there's something else that I'm unaware of that they have,
that's like 5 times the speed of sound. That's like Mach 5. It's very fast. That's like as fast as a missile.
Yeah, I
But
don't want
once
to be going
you're
the
faster
speed of a
than a
missile for an hour.
What?
I don't want to be going the speed of a missile
No,
for
you
an
don't.
hour.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know if the technology exists. Was this just a map that you saw online?
I haven't seen a map. I've just seen the news stories about it.
Okay.
I wonder if that has any implications on like your now. You know how I'm always talking about sharing a different now because time is relative.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that would change it in any way.
I don't know.
Probably not significant enough.
I don't know if it's significant enough because there are some things that go that fast.
What goes that fast?
Let's see, a spaceship, like a satellite, I believe would be traveling about that fast. We've got intercontinental ballistic missiles that go faster. Russia has
But
a
people aren't inside
hypersonic
of them.
infrared missile that goes like 7 times, 8 times the speed of sound.
But people aren't inside of them, right?
No people inside of them.
Yeah. Cool shit though.
Yeah, in theory. In theory. I would like to be able to get places faster. I agree with that.
That would be fun, man.
Yeah, Big T, you got to find out what you were absolutely right about guessing.
Yeah, I
Doing
don't.
lunch
It
in
was.
London? That
I
would
mean,
be
it was
crazy.
innocuous, but
Yeah. Well, those are the best kind of guesses.
do you want a little bit of breaking news?
I have some for you too, but yeah, you go ahead.
What area is yours in?
Mine has to do with celebrity.
Oh, okay. Mine's sports.
Okay. What do we want first, sports or celebrity?
You tell me.
Sports and pop culture in one place? What an idea for a podcast.
University of North Carolina is finalizing a deal to make Bill Belichick its next head coach.
Interesting.
Oh, word.
They did it. They did it.
Bill Belichick going to college?
Yeah, and apparently his son is now the head coach in waiting.
That was part of his deal. Yeah, he gave him a 400-page manifesto on how he would run the program.
That's a little bit of DEI, isn't it?
Well, he wants it, or nepotism, yeah.
Adjacent.
Didn't hear
Some
that.
would argue.
Didn't hear that when it came to
Some would argue
LeBron.
that.
That's true. Great point.
It's because he's black, PFT.
Okay, yeah, fair. You were biased. Bill Belichick, he wants to turn it into a factory, an NFL factory. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into coaching college football. I know he's a good football coach. I know he knows more about football than pretty much anybody else that's ever lived. But there's a lot of moving parts in college football.
A lot more bullshit you have to deal with.
A lot of bullshit.
I assume he will have somebody to take care of a lot of that stuff, but it's a very different job.
Can you imagine him traveling to recruit?
I don't think he's going to go on a lot of recruiting trips now.
How often? That's a question for Big T, because I never really knew that. I when I was in the trenches, head coaches only really left for like big time recruits.
Yeah, I
Right.
think like in-home visits for head coaches are pretty rare.
Right. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. So unless they have like a super 5-star, that's like
Yeah, like if
gonna
a
be
head
manifested,
coach
I
is
don't think
going to
he's
visit
going.
you at your house or school or whatever, like they want you bad.
What a big bargaining chip for UNC though. Just to be
Mhm.
like, yo, we got Bill Belichick, be like pathway to the NFL.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely a difference maker. Like there's going to be a lot of recruits that go there because of Bill Belichick, which is, I guess that takes away some of the pressure of like having to figure out if you're a first-time college head coach, like your recruiting schedule, your recruiting strategy. If you just have Bill Belichick, that solves a lot of problems right there. Makes a lot of people want you.
God, and their uniforms are so fire. It would be amazing if they were good at football.
Oh, and Bill Belichick subject for the first time ever to Freedom of Information Act requests.
Ah,
So that's nice.
you trying to get into the phones?
Yeah, trying to get into the phones, the emails. We can
Wait,
figure-
what? I'm not up on this.
So since he's
It's
an
a government employee.
he's an employee of a state institution now.
Mhm.
So you're entitled to look up stuff in his emails that he sends.
So you trying to rehash Deflategate?
Well, if he tries any monkey business, then we can find out. No, he's smarter than that. He'll have burners on burners on burners. He's got like his son will be his personal burner.
Hugh Freeze had burners, and he still used the main.
That's true.
Or maybe he didn't have burners. I don't know. He should have.
Sometimes he got so horny that he was just like, I can't reach for the other phone.
Yeah.
It's more exhilarating to cheat on Maine.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of fucking, yesterday I ordered seafood broil. Good time. And I decided to watch a documentary. And this documentary was about a woman that decided to sleep with 100 men in a day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw some of the clips.
It was a well done documentary. It was by this like little British dude. Like it was really well done, but it was fascinating to say the least. She was an OnlyFans model that was getting banked, right? And this is just the way to go, right? If you're fatherless, but if like she was getting mad money on OnlyFans, and she was at she justified. She said, "I was at university." She's at university, and she was already promiscuous. She was like, "I was already like sleeping around a lot of dudes, like," and I figured, why not? They kept asking for pictures, so like, why might as well just woo. So she got on OnlyFans, and then that led to like she got a lot of money from that, and then that led to she like the one of the creepiest things she said was like her dad's friends. She noticed some of her dad's friends were like donating to her. Crazy work. So then she had I think she did it before where she slept with 37 dudes in a day. and she wanted to up the ante by going to 100. And they documented the whole process. They kind of interviewed dudes that went there. It was like the whole build up to it. It was, like I said, it was really, really well done. It kept me
So
interested.
the dudes, they would like agree to be interviewed on the record.
Yeah, but they was like, don't show my face, don't show my voice. It was like, you know how they, blur out the face and yeah. So I took a train to London.
It's
one
like
of those kind of
Gangland, yeah.
vibes. Yeah, exactly. One of the dudes said, "Yeah, don't show my face or my identity. My dad will kick me out for sure." I'm like, hey, yo. So anyway, man, so she starts this journey, and the dude doing the documentary is like, "I'm nervous today. I'm nervous for you." It's so funny, dog. And she has a team. She has like an assistant that like screened them. And then he found out, he was like, "I don't think she's really thought this was all the way through." And so he started asking her questions the day before, like, "Are you screening for like security, like background checks on these guys?" She's like, "No, not really. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine." Like, so she didn't really screen for security. She did screen for an STI test, but I mean, it was like the day of, right? So it's really hard to judge that kind of thing. And then um the dudes, he was asking the dudes like afterwards, he's like, "Are you like, did you see like what, do you know what number in line you were?" And they were like, "Nah." And he was like, does that bother you at all?" They was like, "I mean, a little bit." It's like a whole gambit of issues, man. And then afterwards, spoiler alert, they allowed her to be interviewed after the 100 guys was completed. It took like the entire day. I think they started at 9 a.m. or 10 or something like that. And it was like each guy had like 5 minutes tops. And like, so she starts crying. And that was a predictable response. So she starts crying. And as she's crying, he's like, like, well, this is, he's trying to console her and stuff like that. And then he kind of digs into why she was crying. And she said she was crying because she felt bad because a lot of the dudes didn't get as much time as they wanted. And I'm like, what the fuck? So all kinds of emotional issues this woman has. But after she's done, she's tripling down and now wants to do 1,000 guys in a day.
Whew. I
I
saw some of the clips of afterwards, and I saw she was very, very emotional. She seemed like she was having like a nervous breakdown afterwards. I don't know if she was actually upset that the guys felt like they got shortchanged. I feel like
I'd be willing to bet that as well.
that is a trauma response, my friend. That is like what you just went through, that you put yourself through.
Yeah.
Probably a mix of trauma and like a little bit of what the hell did I just do? Like, this is going to follow me around for the rest of my life. Why am I?
Yeah, that was one of her
publicly sharing this. Is this something to be proud of?
But that's one of her gripes was like, people don't look at you the same. She's like, I choose to live my life, but like people just don't look at you the same. And I'm like, I mean, should they, bro? That's very like, it's irresponsible. You could be possibly spreading diseases. It's like, yeah, I would judge that. I do judge that. That's a lot.
Like sex between consenting adults, that's fine. If there's any exchange of money agreed upon, I'm not gonna judge somebody in like a severe light if they like went to a prostitute one time. But if it's like a woman that is having sex with 100 guys, and it's not for like sexual gratification, I think that would be like completely different. If a woman was like super horny, she banged like 7 dudes in a day or something like that. Yeah. I think that's like it's a little strange, and there might be some underlying emotional reasons for that. But I don't think I would look at her like that for the rest of her life. Oh, that's the girl that bangs 7 guys in a day. But the reason why she's doing it is for clout.
Bread.
Right? And so she's like, I will bang 1,000 guys in a day because people I like having people talk about me. That I'm banging 1,000 guys in a day. Because I think she said in one of the clips that it wasn't like normal sex. It was very, very different for her. And her body and her brain was obviously reacting in a way that I don't think was super healthy. But yeah, she went through like a day of trauma that she inflicted on herself for clout.
Very, very weird. Very, very disturbing. But it's like, dudes are gonna like be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. It's like dudes are so horny. Like That's wild. Like, there's no way you can pay me to do no shit like that. To travel. One dude paid like $800. He's like, I had to take a train here. I had to do all kinds. He had to travel
he took
a
a
long
train, all
time to
right.
get there. And so you said what?
I said, yeah, he took a train, all right. I think every guy that was there. How did they determine the order of guys? Was there a lottery?
I don't know that. I think they just, as they came, they had a waiting room. They had a waiting room. And you just sitting there with a bunch of dudes and was like waiting your turn. I don't know how they did the order.
It should have been like the NBA lottery, where they have like ping pong balls and a machine, and you get assigned a certain number of balls based on what your body count is. Like if you've never slept with anybody, then you have a 20% chance of getting the first overall pick.
And then some of the dudes doubled up because they were running out of guys because a lot of guys ended up canceling. So some of the dudes doubled up. Like so they did what they did with her, and then they came back and they asked them, I didn't have a good performance. Can I go again? And the lady was like sure.
Did that count towards the total body count, or
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they said 100 guys, so I'm assuming it was 100. But I think maybe that the extra, I don't know, man. How they tallied it.
What were the ground rules in terms of protection?
They did use condoms, and she said that they could finish on her face.
Okay.
And so when he walked in, when she was done, he's like, "Your eyes are watering." She's like, "Yeah, there was a lot that went in there." I told him not to. It's just like, hey, yo.
Well, if you're like, you can finish on my face, just keep it away from my eyes. That's like, good luck enforcing that boundary.
But I mean, odds are,
yeah,
out of 100, some's gonna,
like unintentionally. Yeah,
it's an erratic spray sometimes.
I was aiming for the face, not the eyes.
And these kind of dudes, got a lot of buildup. So
did she have? Was there like a cleaning crew for her that would come out in between dudes, like NASCAR pit stop? Like 3 guys that would go in there with a squeegee?
Really mad. There was condoms all over the floor. It was wild, B.
Yeah, that's enough internet, I think.
It was wild, but it's what's happening. OnlyFans is a billion-dollar business, and there are women making so much money on this, and it's all just because of horny ass dudes. It's insane. Like, I think it was that one girl that just made like 43 M's in a year from that shit.
Was that one of Glenny Ball's interviews? Glenny has an OnlyFans show where
I saw that, but I'm dubious.
Because
that.
If you make that claim, it's a good way to have publicity about yourself.
For sure. And I saw that woman said that like one dude gave her $4 million. I refuse to believe that.
Because I think you can see, I don't know. I don't have an OnlyFans account. I've never been on OnlyFans. But is there a way that actually tells you, like, is it public how much money they make per month? How many subscriptions they have per month?
There's got to be a way, know. Right? They can see it.
Like followers? Is the follower account public? And if so, would it just be easy to do the math on that? I'm going to actually hit up.
I could maybe believe that she made $40 million way easier than that one dude gave her $4 million.
Yes.
There's no, because to be able, Elon Musk barely has enough money to be giving $4 million to one OnlyFans girl. Mm-hmm. That's nuts.
This says it's an option to have your subscribers public or not.
Okay.
The vast majority of OnlyFans creators, 88%, choose to hide their subscriber count from the view.
Because they're too low.
What's the appeal? This is what I don't understand. Like, I've been a horny man before. And there are a plethora of free services at my, at my call. I do what I do, and then I exit out of the website page. What is the appeal of monthly subscriptions to, like, I don't understand that.
I think it's because you feel like you have a connection to the person.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of like a
personal?
parasocial relationship.
Yeah, I feel like we should have somebody in here talking about this that is like an OnlyFans user.
Where's Glenny?
Because they can give a much better, I don't know, Big T, are you logged on?
No.
Yeah, smart.
He would never admit that.
That is
Not
true.
saying
That
he
is true,
did.
but the answer is no.
I would,
Not saying
for the
you do, I'm
record,
just saying you wouldn't admit it.
I would also not admit it. I would lie about it if I was, but I'm not. So I guess you'll never know if I am or not, but I'm not.
I'm a habitual user of X videos. That's my go-to. But like, that's what I don't understand the subscription thing. Like, I've been interested in and went through phases with a specific, patron.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never go to her website and be like, let me get them nudes for $5 a month. Like,
Well,
it's just not that.
It is a more ethical way to consume pornography, right? If you're paying the person individually, as opposed to just using a website for free.
I could see how this feels very psychotic. Like you're starting to develop a relationship with somebody that doesn't really know you. It's a sexual, very intimate relationship with somebody. And like that could be problematic for like mentally unstable people.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know about this, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain type of horny guy that likes to that doesn't have like boundaries to his horniness. That is like wants to share their horniness with random people online. Like I'm talking about the kind of person that like posts videos that they enjoy to like message boards for other people to watch. The kind of guy that writes reviews of porn. The kind of guy that comments under videos on a porn site.
That's funny to me.
Yeah.
To stop mid-stroke and voice your opinion on a video is a wild notion, though.
It's usually like, what's her name? And most people that will comment, what's her name? They will never return like a week from then to that video to look to see if anybody's replied to it. They want somebody to like reply instantly.
That's wild, man. I've seen like ethical, moral questions under there.
Yeah.
Before too. I'm like, what's going on, bro?
But this lady, she's going to try to do 1,000. I don't know if that's possible.
What's the math on that?
What's
24 hours in a
24
day.
times 60?
Assume she's not going to work for 24 hours. I would say like probably
So,
18-hour
She
work
could-
day.
She could get a Red Bull sponsor. That would be
18
funny.
times 60 is 1,080 minutes.
okay, so each guy gets like a minute. So it has to be longer than 18 hours. It has to be probably a full 24.
Yeah.
24 times
Yeah.
60 is 1440.
But that's also assuming like no time in between.
Exactly.
No breaks for lunch.
Can I ask something about? Do you think she could like double up?
Yeah, I
on
imagine
multiples?
there would probably be some doubling up. But I don't know. Does that count?
How would that work? Yeah. Wait, what does doubling up mean?
Like
you mean two dudes at the same time?
Yeah.
I think it would have to be. It has to be P and V, right?
I would
Yeah.
assume because that would be
Also, though,
the count.
never mind.
No, let it fly, Maddie.
Like, she's.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, so true, Arian. Thank you for that.
How do you know that, but
Yeah,
not the
wow.
Rizzler?
Yeah.
There's two separate sides of Twitter.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh, that's on
that-
Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, a whole bunch of black folks was doing that, and it was doing it like on different takes.
The
I'm
Rizzler
sure
just came out with the best rap song of 2024. You should check it out.
That did cross my timeline. Somebody said, they said this little motherfucker is snapping.
What did he
so
say
I-
about
I did check his last verse was the hard. I mean, his
I'm
last
the
bar was
Grinch,
hard
the way
spot.
I make y'all feel, that's why you live. I don't know who you are, that's why you live in Whoville. That went
Ooh,
hard.
yeah, that one. And then his last bar was the hardest one. It was about Wakanda. What kind of verse are you killing or something like that, bro?
Oh, 'cause he
his
said
albums
Black
didn't write that
Panther.
shit. He has a yeah.
Oh, I like
He has a ghostwriter. I want to know who his ghostwriter is. I'm assuming this is.
Well,
Big
he's
Joe.
like 7, I assume. He didn't write
Hey,
that.
hey! If you want to step into the realm of hip hop, brother, it is very frowned upon to have a ghostwriter. That's why Drake is getting the shit he's getting.
He's
right
a
now.
child.
We don't care. We don't care. Lil Bow Wow used to
We do not
used
care.
to write his own
Do
shit.
you think
Lil
Jaden
Romeo.
Smith wrote his verse in Never Say Never by Justin Bieber?
Yeah, that verse isn't very good. He might have.
You don't think it's good?
Yes. No.
He's bigger than me and stronger than me.
Raised
and
by the
he's
power
taller
of
than-
will?
You don't think Bow Wow wrote his own shit? That he didn't have like his
No, he absolutely
his
did
uncles
write
helping him out?
No, 8,000% had Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
So you agree that the Rizzler has fire bars?
I just said that verse was insane.
All right.
Like that was a
All right,
legit
hell yeah.
dope. But they're not his though.
Go card.
Yeah, I mean that he said them. I don't know what you want.
Clip
All
that.
right. Well,
He's 8 years old.
You step into the arena of hip hop, you are subject to scrutiny.
The Rizzler
just
is
like
in the
everybody
arena of hip hop currently.
J. Cole puts out a diss track about the Rizzler.
That'd be the end of his career.
Of
J. Cole's. Yes.
That would be a fun little spar.
Very.
The Rizzler would end
Short-
him.
No, but that shit would be fun.
All right, so real quick, back to the OnlyFans
Oh, yeah.
lady. Because
I was just saying, like, she's saying she's having sex with these men.
it has to be P&V.
Right, but I mean, does either party necessarily have to, like, finish? Like, in order, like, I'm thinking, like, we're doing, like, 1 in, 1 out moments.
Oh, like one stroke.
Yeah, like, we're just crossing.
Like
Checks.
boom,
Had sex.
boom, had sex. I'm out. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's a good question because I think
For timing reasons.
it might be hard to get 100 dudes to show up if you're only allowed like 2 pumps.
See, I don't think
travel.
so. I still think boys would do that.
Yeah, we might.
There are very few people that I've slept with. That maybe this might be too much, but that
We listen and we don't
had
judge.
We listen and we don't judge. That had the warmth and feel good sensation that would elicit me only needing 2 pumps.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's that's top shelf stuff there. And if that's what you got, that's what you got. You know, I don't know.
But I don't know if she can do that 1,000 times in a row.
That's also
That's
you got a lot of hydration, a lot of your pH is gonna be fucked after that. That room probably smelled like.
Oh God. Oh God.
That's why I'm saying, like, I think it might just be like a more physical
dude-
act.
The dude who walked in, he goes, "It smells like sex."
Oh.
Yeah, no
How the
shit.
fuck? I'm horrible at accents, but that shit was funny, dog.
They need to
Man.
do an airlift of Diddy's palette of lube because that would get
speaking of-
painful.
Did you see Jamie Foxx's stand up?
No.
He kind of went on Diddy a little bit, but it was good to see him out and about.
What did he say?
He explained what happened. He ended up having like a brain bleed, and that turned into a stroke. And I was doing a little reading on it. Like I guess only like 45% of the people survive that kind of thing, or maybe it's the opposite. 45% of people die. Either one, but it's a high percentage of people that die when they had his condition. And so he was in Atlanta. He said he had a massive headache, and when he asked his mans for an aspirin, by that time he said he woke up 21 days later, which is super scary. And he's not. I mean, he was a healthy dude, like, so they don't really know why it happened, but that's scary. But it's good to see him out. But he's very emotional, very religious. There's God's timing, God's plan, all that kind of stuff.
So what do you say about
But-
Diddy?
Oh, he said I saw the light. He said I saw the light. Yo, I saw the tunnel. That's what he said. He said, I saw the tunnel. He said, and it was kind of fiery. And he said, and it was Diddy with a bottle of Johnson & Johnson. He said it funnier, but like it was. He had a couple of them, like a couple of those zingers. He's like, and I did not go to. He's like, I left by 9. I never stayed around. That's what he said. Yeah.
So I've got some celebrity news. There's been a very important celebrity development. This happened yesterday, I believe.
Joe Burrow.
No, after long last, our regional nightmare is over. If you look at notable people on Wikipedia from Big
that's
T's
right.
hometown,
That's right.
he has now been added.
Number 2.
Number 2, Nate Bargatze. Number 1, stand-up comedian and actor. Then Connor Knapp, Big T.
We're number 2, boys.
It says that you were born in 1996/1997.
One of those is correct.
Co-host of Macrodosing podcast, media personality for Barstool Sports.
We did it. We're number 2. Print the shirts.
I love
I like
that.
it. I would wear that shirt. That would be a fire little shirt, like notable people from where the fuck
Old Hickory,
we from?
Tennessee.
Old
One.
Hickory, Tennessee.
Nate
You-
Bargatze,
And then
too,
under
Big
that,
T.
that'd be actually a little fire little shirt.
Big T, you're on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
prominently.
I love that.
On the top half of the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, you're right
Who's
ahead.
3 and 4?
Kathy Gordon Brown is number 3.
Suck it, Kathy.
Yeah. And then, number 4 is actually 4 and 5, Danica and the Jeb.
Right. We still haven't gotten to the bottom of them.
They were born in they're a musical duo. They were born in 19 ? They don't even know the decade. They just know the century.
They just came into existence.
They were born in the 20th century at some point. So congrats, Big T.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a big day.
That's huge.
That's exciting.
And you did not do that.
I did not.
Somebody else put that up there.
If you're the Wikipedia editor, please let us know.
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Where do you edit Wikipedia pages? Like, I've never seen a place to edit it.
There's like a little pencil mark.
Do you have to have like an account?
I believe so.
I think you have to have an account. I've done some light editing in the past of just for screenshots. I'll just change something, take a screenshot of it real quick. Kind of a menace move.
Those are probably the people donating.
Yeah. Oh, the power users?
Yeah.
There's some people who spend, a significant amount of their day just looking at updates to Wikipedia and being like, this is incorrect.
Well, that's good to do if something's wrong. But like, when people go in there and change Arrowhead Stadium to like
owned by Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Speaking of Joe, thoughts and prayers to Joe. His house was broken into on Monday night. There's a traveling group of criminals who pay attention to the football schedule, and then they break into people's houses when they know that they're out of town playing a game, it's almost like so simple that it's brilliant in how they do it, because where Joe Burrow is going to be on Monday night. He's going to be in Dallas or in Springfield, Ohio, or I guess Springfield ? Depending on where the Simpsons are located. But they broke into his house on Monday night. There was a model that was in Joe's house sitting for him.
I have questions about this.
Well, she's a house sitter.
She's employed by Joe Burrow,
Well, it's the winter time. She's a swimsuit model. There's not a lot of work, so she's making a little bit of money house sitting for him.
If you're confused, Olivia Ponton, who is a Sports Illustrated model and notable lesbian.
I was going to say, before yesterday, I had heard that she was of a different persuasion.
She has been persuaded differently in the past, yes. I don't know why she was there in his house in Cincinnati.
I think she's just a friend.
The employed by Joe Burrow line is tough.
Joe can't have female employees?
I just need to know more. Did you hear the 911 call?
I did not listen to it, but I know that she allegedly texted or called her mom, one of the two. She contacted her mom somehow, and then her mom then called the cops. If she texted her mom, that makes sense to me, because maybe she didn't want the people to hear that she was in the home. Right. So if somebody broke in, she doesn't want to be on the phone with somebody. But no, I did not listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely her. And I'm kind of confused on their setup. And she lives in New York City. None of it makes sense. The only thing I've seen that makes sense is that her best friend is rumored to be with Danny Amendola.
Okay.
So maybe they got set up through like that, like another NFL influencer.
I'm also reading that Joe has a fiance.
They are broken up.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
How did we confirm that?
I have sources.
Okay.
And also,
wait. So is that not public knowledge?
I don't think it's not public knowledge, but like they weren't very public to begin with.
Public enough that people on Twitter know her name.
But like, if you're
she has public Instagram. She has
publicly breaking up with his fiance. We got to make sure this is rock solid.
Yes, I was actually after this news came to light. I knew that they were broken up, but I went back to her Instagram. Most of the traces of Joe have been deleted from her Instagram, which is never really a sign of like we're together. But yeah, no, I have some sources in the Ohio circuit who have told me that they are no longer together.
So the swimsuit model, Miss Ponton, she might be a friend of a friend.
But then if she's a friend of a friend, that feels an oddly large degree of separation to be in his house when he's not there.
Well, I mean, I could see a world where you're going out of town, you have somebody like feeding your pets, and they have their friend over.
Yeah.
And do we know that she was the only person in the house?
No, but she's the one that made the call.
Yeah, so she might have made the call. Well, there was somebody else there.
I have a question that I haven't seen anyone posit. How positive are we Olivia Ponton didn't break into the house?
Good question.
And then call the cops and say, "Oh, there's been a robbery."
Yeah.
Could also be true.
Could not be I, Olivia Ponton.
This might be a cat in the hat situation where she was in the house with her friend and they were playing ball in the house.
Okay.
I assume that she's a fan of ball. She broke a window and then they panicked like, "Oh, fuck, we broke Joe Burrow's window. Quick, call the cops. And we'll act like it was a break-in." And then it became national news.
Interesting. Yeah, I just haven't seen anyone, you point a finger, there's 3 pointing back at you.
And I don't know that this is the case, but Joe might be just that attractive that even a girl that is more into girls sees him and is like, "Now that's a guy." If there's going to be one, that's him.
Right.
That is very true.
So yeah, it is pretty fucked up though that this has happened to a few athletes, like high profile athletes.
Travis
too.
and Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' place got broken into. Travis Kelce's.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. In the same weekend, I believe.
Yeah, I
like
think it was
back to back.
the same game.
Yeah.
They were out of town for the same game. Arian, did you ever give any thought to that when you were in the league where everybody knows that you're not home?
I mean, we had like security meetings about it, but like, I never really took any extra precautions. But that it's silly on the robber's part because anybody with a significant amount of wealth like that could hire a security team in home, or even the police. You have like special protection. So like, what would be the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a risky ass move.
I read one thing that there was a cop that was stationed outside his house because of this exact issue. Because the league sent out a memo to everybody back in November saying, "Hey, houses are being broken into by a gang that's monitoring your schedule, so take precaution." I read that there was a cop that was outside that just probably fell asleep in his car or something.
He got bored.
Yeah, he got bored. Stakeouts, they're not that fun. But yeah, this is it's an ongoing issue. And yeah, I don't really know how you can plan on getting away with it at this point. Because these are very high profile people whose homes you're breaking into. But I guess
Don't know.
it might have worked.
Run up, get done up.
It might have worked. That's what happened to Sean Taylor, actually. He was injured, and the people that he knew, these people though, it wasn't like a international gang, but they broke into his home because they thought that he would be at practice or traveling with the team, but he was injured doing rehab in his Florida house, so they didn't know he was there when they broke in. They had a gun, shot him. So yeah, hopefully everybody in Joe's immediate circle is okay, however big that circle might be. And listen, Joe, we listen, but we don't judge.
That's true. She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. He had a
I don't
beautiful
think anyone
woman,
would be judging. Yeah.
a beautiful, nice woman staying in his house.
It would be like, damn, he really is that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if she's a nice person because I don't know anything about her. But
True.
he had a beautiful young lady that was in his house.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Truth.
According to data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, around 30% of home invasion perpetrators are known to their victims. So 1/3 of the cases, the person committing the home invasion is someone the victim is familiar with.
I know murder, it's very high, which makes sense, but robberies, I would guess, would have been lower.
You think lower than 30%?
Yeah, I mean, I guess 70% still high, but I mean, yeah,
I would be willing to. I'm saying I would be willing to bet that robberies, like home burglaries, are probably down due to the influx of security surveillance systems. So that seems about right to me. And so it would be higher in my opinion because it's harder to get away with it. So somebody that robs you probably knows the inner workings of your specific security system and how to get around it.
Or knows something valuable that's in your home that they're breaking in for.
Yeah, because if somebody breaking into my house, you gonna steal my computer, maybe. Like I got a big TV, but other than that, I don't really have shit. So It's just such a risky ass thing. Like I don't got cash laying around. I don't got nothing really expensive.
I read that if you ask burglars what's the one thing that you can do to make your house more secure, yeah, it's not necessarily having a great state-of-the-art security system, although that helps, I'm sure.
Talking about they asked the burglars.
Yeah, they asked the burglars.
Gotcha.
Exit interviews.
Gotcha.
They said it's a dog.
I'd go with gun before dog.
Well,
but
if they know that you're like packing heat, then they're probably, they're going to think twice before they break in. But the one thing in like a random burglary, if there's a dog there, that'll scare them off. They'll run away. Blake, man, I had the Beeve come over to my house the other day. We were meeting to go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Left the door unlocked. The Beeve came in, like unannounced, didn't knock. Blake had never experienced something like that, just letting themselves in because I'd unlocked it for him. So I'm upstairs. The Beeve just opens the door and comes in, and Blake just lets him have it. Like just starts screaming, barking at him, hair standing up. It was a scary sound, and man, if anybody tries to break into my home, I think Blake would kill an intruder, which I love. That's good.
Good for your Blake, man.
Yeah, he's a good dog. I sent a picture to the group chat the other morning because we were in a big discussion about dogs and whether or not they were evil. And Arian was on the side of dogs are evil. You shouldn't have a dog. They'll kill you.
Whoa. There's a lot of context missing there.
They'll kill you and your family, this whole thing. And then at the time that I got those pictures, I was waking up and Blake was just sprawled out in bed, just belly up, legs spread wide open, just snoring on his back. So I just took my camera, took a picture of Blake, put a little cucumber over his bits and pieces so I wasn't exposing the chat to dog penis. And then Arian thought that I was sending a nude.
It was like when you open it and just glance at it real quick, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? But it was a dog.
Yeah, it was a dog.
It looked a little sus when I first opened it, but it was all subsequent to the story that I sent about the Rottweiler that mauled a 5-year-old,
which is not a dog you should have.
I like Rots.
Just saying, same species. I'm saying those are the kind of dogs I grew up around. Rots, pits, all just running around wreaking havoc. And then I got bit by a what was that nigga? That nigga was a German Shepherd. And so, just saying, there's another side to dogs that go beyond, walks in the park and fluffy shit.
And that is true. If you don't train your Rot, it could be bad. If you don't train your Poodle, it could be real bad.
Yeah, are poodles aggressive?
Yeah, they can be mean. No, I'm serious. Poodles can be real. They can be real bitches. Before we get into the Vatican archives, looking at Big T's sheet that he sent over, a couple stories. Luigi Mangione, we know more about him, the alleged assassin, I should say, of the United Healthcare CEO. Apparently he was obsessed with the number 286, and he left behind a lot of clues. This guy's got a big online footprint.
Yeah.
Like nothing's been deleted. He didn't really make an effort to cover up anything. They found his Reddit account. They found his Twitter account.
Didn't they delete his Twitter?
They brought it back.
Okay.
So he's obsessed with the number 286, or at least he left behind a lot of clues about the number 286. He had 286 posts online. He had a picture of a specific Pokemon, which I don't really know shit about Pokemon, so maybe you guys could educate me on this. It was Breloom? I don't know, but the 286 Pokemon. So what's the significance of this one Pokemon?
I think just that it's number 286.
Is there anything like unusual about this Pokemon?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Let's look it up. What's his name?
Breloom. Breloom.
Pokemon.
Altoona, Pennsylvania, where he was captured, is 286 miles away from New York City. That also, it depends on what part of New York City you're looking at.
No, I think specifically the Hilton where he shot the guy to the McDonald's was 286 miles.
Really?
Yeah, which is, I think he got caught there on purpose.
That's crazy. And I've heard people say 286 is the denial code that United Healthcare uses for denial of claim.
Is it really? Oh wow. There was another one. that 286, 2 plus 8 plus 6. If you look on the Monopoly board, if you go that route, it lands on the railroad, which is Pennsylvania Railroad.
Oh shit! And he had a backpack with Monopoly money in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
that's some wild stuff.
This guy didn't just like stop at a McDonald's and happen to randomly get arrested. He did that on purpose.
Okay. I mean, this maybe could deserve like a whole episode, but like my tinfoil hat is on right now.
I don't know what I think is up with this, but I know it's something.
We in lockstep because it just, I think this is the beginnings of how conspiracies start. There's not enough information to go by, so your brain starts filling in the blanks. I'm naturally inclined to be like, I just gotta wait for more information to come out. But like, there's a lot of shit that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
none of this. Like when the picture that they took of him and they had him, they started spreading it around. Kind of looked like he got a unibrow, and then in the picture, don't really look like he got a unibrow, and so it'd be hard to grow a unibrow in 2-3 days, 4 days, whatever it was. It's just a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? It's just not looking. It's not very clear picture, and this is the problem. This is the problem with our society is if anything happens, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and so a lot of shit is flying around. Then Monopoly money, shit like this starts to happen. It gets kind of goofy, man.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
Didn't he have a video that was supposed to come out today? Like his YouTube channel had a video that was like coming soon, and it was today's date.
I saw something about that. I did not look into whether that was his real YouTube account or not.
That might have been a fake.
Yeah,
YouTube account.
I saw that there was 2, and people were saying one was fake and one was real, but I didn't look into it either.
He had an old roommate / landlord that gave a quote to the press saying that he was unable to have sex because his back was too bad. That does not make sense to me. One, I think that his landlord's kind of an asshole for being like, I got a hot tip that I'm going to call the press and give out here. He couldn't fuck. He didn't fuck. But if your back is so bad that you can't have sex, how does this guy have a six-pack? How is it? Or I guess that could have been old pictures. But if his back is too bad to have sex, how can he then go to New York, shoot a guy, get away on a motorized bike, and then escape authority and get all the way to Pennsylvania? Like, if you can do all that, you can fuck. You know how little effort it takes to fuck? If you're bad at fucking? This guy could have fucked. Community notes.
You could just sit there and have somebody be gentle.
I also think that it's probably just the former landlord roommate guys maybe just making that up or exaggerating it. But who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of weird shit that's going on with this Luigi character.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. There's nothing significant about the Pokemon thing that I could find.
Yeah, I think it's
Breloom.
I just think it's the number associated with him is 286.
The one thing we do know is that he was a Jerry After Dark fan.
Yeah.
Really?
He retweeted one of Jerry's tweets from like March of 2023. And it was something, Jerry showed it to us yesterday. It was something referring to the fact that like Jerry was saying that he looked like dumb as fuck in a vest he was wearing on some stream. So it was before Jerry After Dark started, but it was like referring to a Jerry video like stream thing. So I don't know if it was like a March Madness stream, which then in turn PFT would probably be on that stream. But there is a retweet of Jersey Jerry on Luigi Mangione's Twitter.
How is Jerry connected to this somehow?
Well, Jerry's connected to it through he has his own thoughts on it, but he is, I don't think, connected in a real way.
He loves the Steelers. Altoona is not that far from Pittsburgh.
Look.
I heard you say something the other day about Altoona pizza, and I didn't know what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
I only recently saw what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
It's horrifying. You want to explain to the people what Altoona pizza is?
Well, it appeared to just be like a Detroit style pizza-ish.
Except like a little bit more raw, like a cross between medium crust and a bagel. Like an untwisted bagel.
And then just, was it American cheese? Just a slice of American cheese on top?
Yep.
Do people like that's for real? People eat that?
Altoona pizza, it's a thing. And then you could look up St. Louis style pizza too, which is
Well, I've had that.
Maybe equally horrifying.
It's so my grandparents live in St. Louis, so when I was a kid, we'd go once or twice a year and it'd be like, "Oh, we'll go get Emo's Pizza cuz we're in St. Louis," and I enjoyed it. And then as an adult, I've gone back and eaten it. It'd been like, this is not good.
No.
But St. Louis is a psyop anyway, so
they're talking about what else he had on him. Apparently, he had the weapon that was on him when he was arrested. He had some people say manifesto. Some people just say like documents on his computer.
If you kill someone, it's a manifesto.
It immediately becomes a manifesto.
If you kill someone and seem to have left some online clues and shit, and if you murder a healthcare CEO and you have documents, it's a manifesto.
He said, frankly, these parasites had it coming. That implies that maybe there was meant to be one more target, at least another target. These parasites. I do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done. I wasn't working with anyone.
Is this verified? Like this is what was found on him?
That was on WNCT.
So we're not 100% sure.
Well, this is what they're reporting.
Do they have a primary source?
Let me see. It looks like it was. I think their source is the police.
That would be a primary source.
Yeah.
Has there been any police? And sorry, I have not cared enough to look into it. But has there been any statements released by the police or FBI officially?
I think they're leaking some stuff out. The police are leaking a few things out. So my guess would be NYPD has leaked that the fingerprints taken from Luigi Mangione in Pennsylvania matched those on a water bottle found near the scene of the fatal shooting.
See, that's another thing. What you were this calculated to leave Monopoly clues and all this fucking Pokemon shit. You didn't wear gloves, B?
I think he wanted to get caught.
Yeah,
but then why if he wanted to get caught, then it doesn't make sense for him to say these parasites, like in plural. Or maybe he was just saying these kinds of people.
I think he accepted the fact that he was going to get caught, which is why he didn't wear gloves, but he wanted to make it to Altoona, Pennsylvania for whatever reason.
Huh.
So he was just banking on them not finding his precise location, even if there was like a fingerprint that was on a water bottle, until a few days later. So who knows?
Yeah. I think as the details surface in the coming weeks, we should do a deep dive into this whole thing.
Okay.
See if we could whiteboard it out.
The more I hear, the more it stinks.
Yeah.
Also on Big T's sheet, there is a basketball recruit that has been rumored to have signed an NIL deal for $7 million for 1 year. AJ DeBansa.
Yeah, #1 player in the country next year. Going to BYU.
Yeah, so that's the surprising part. Like BYU has $7 million to give to a guy?
They've got the Jazz owner.
Ah. And where's this guy from?
I am not sure.
What's his name?
AJ DeBansa.
Yeah, it is.
He's probably going to be the #1 pick in the, I guess that'd be the 26th draft. And he got $7 million for 1 year to go to BYU, which is really one semester. So hell of a deal.
Hell yeah. It was like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So he's currently at Utah Prep. That's the school that he's at right now. He's from Brockton, Massachusetts. And BYU backed the truck up for him. $7 million. That's just unreal that you can make that as a college athlete for 1 year. Like no commitment whatsoever.
Get paid, young nigga. Get paid.
It's the market at
Love
work.
It is. So other schools that offered include Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Baylor, BYU, UConn, Duke, Georgia Tech, Georgetown, Kentucky, North Carolina, Providence, USC, Utah, and Washington. No Tennessee. You guys weren't involved in that.
I assume Tennessee offered him a scholarship. I don't think he was ever going to go to Tennessee. He was down to, it was BYU, Bama, UNC, and UConn, I think, or Duke, or Kansas. Kansas.
Now, if you're given that $7 million, are you expecting any sort of return on that investment? Or that's just like...
I think the return on the investment is people are talking about BYU.
You get to watch him for a year and people are talking about BYU.
And if he turns into a generational talent, you will get a return on that investment.
That's true. He'll probably like come back and notable alumni.
Yeah, that's like when Bronny was in high school. He didn't say this, but someone reported that his top schools were like USC, Duke, Ohio State, and Tennessee. And this is when people were starting to be Bronny truthers, like he isn't actually that good. I was like, I want Bronny 11 times out of 10 because you're getting LeBron for the rest of, time.
Yeah. And he'll probably show up to a couple games.
Yeah, you'd get like exclusive LeBron shoes, and there'd be the LeBron James practice facility, whatever. Like, that's worth its weight in gold.
So we have a quick update. Sources tell ESPN that there are still issues that both sides need to work through on the Bill Belichick thing.
Interesting.
So it's not officially official just yet.
I would bet a lot of money he becomes their coach.
Once it's out there, I feel like
yeah,
either his team or UNC, they put it out there knowing that they'll probably come to a resolution.
Yeah, I would.
It's just interesting that he's interested in that because now there's so much financial politics that coaches have to juggle, like with NIL and like kids entering transfer portals and like I got a couple buddies that coach in college and they like, yo, these kids is like, yo, I want 150,000 or else I'm gonna go to here. So they ask for different situations, and like for him to want to juggle that kind of shit, especially when he's been around some of the greatest talent the game has ever seen. It's just interesting that he would want to do that.
So he was on Pat McAfee's show the other day and said basically it's going to be the organizational structure will be that of an NFL team, that there will be a GM and everything like that. A lot of schools are getting GMs now, but also this upcoming year, it's even more insane than it's ever been because schools are getting basically every school is going to have $20 million to pay in NIL from the school directly, in addition to whatever you have from your collective. So the numbers,
it's getting out of hand.
So the numbers right now are, I've heard a couple figures that are astronomical for guys.
So the reason why I say it's getting is there any unions that are able to be developed for the kids? Because who's looking after the interests of the kids?
I guess your agent.
Hell no. There has to be. I'm calling it now in the next 3 or 4 years. There's going to be some kind of union developed. There has to be. I know that the Supreme Court struck it down when Northwestern posited for it. But even when they struck it down saying it, like the structure isn't, if I remember the reading correctly and the ruling was like the structure isn't set up for the use or the need of it right now, but in the future they'll revisit. And so it is absolutely time to revisit a union because these kids are about to be massively taken advantage of, from financial advisors to agents to everybody.
Yeah.
I think right now, though, they're getting the sweet end of the deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal that they're getting paid and that they will get paid money from the universities. But I think Arian's right in that there's other stuff that goes along with it.
For sure.
That having a union would be very, very helpful for this person is a union approved financial advisor that you can talk to.
That should be, if they care about the kids like they say they do and their education and their well-being, that would be a priority from the NCAA, would be to establish some kind of litmus test, so that, because when you're young and you're vulnerable, like as a kid, you don't know the difference between a good financial advisor and a bad one, or how to Carfax their track record on, I got buddies in the league that got hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen from them, multiple cases of that, right? And so that was from NFL, NBA, stuff like that. This is what I know about the professional sports business side is it is a breeding ground for sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Breeding ground. And for kids who are vulnerable and don't understand finances at that level, it is going to be a shit show unless they put some regulations in place.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting.
Yep.
But they also have, and this is different than, financial advisor and stuff like that, they have the benefit of basically being a free agent every single year. Like if every top quarterback in college football should enter the portal every season.
Just to see.
Yeah. And this year in particular is out of this world numbers because schools that have had $2 million to spend now have 15.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna go down after this year, but this offseason in particular, you should enter the portal.
Yeah. And to the Belichick thing, I feel like he's a rare coach that can just say, listen, if you don't want to play for me, you don't want to play for me. Here's what I can offer in terms of development. And if you're going to be a portal guy, then good luck, go to the portal. But a lot of players will be like, I want to play for Belichick, even if it's a little bit less money now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We're going to get to the Vatican archives in a second.
The holidays are almost here, and Steven Singer Jewelers has the #1 gift. Everyone knows it's diamond stud earrings, and Steven has the most beautiful, best value, real, natural diamond studs anywhere. Choose a great pair of Anita diamond stud earrings starting at just $298. Steven makes it so easy to buy real diamond jewelry for someone you love. There's no phony sales, no haggling, no nonsense, just easy and fun. Steven's real diamond studs are flawless to the eye, near colorless, and come with his unbeatable full-value lifetime trade-in. You can trade up your diamond studs anytime and receive exactly what you paid towards a larger pair. Steven also has the best guarantee in the business, a full 100-day, 100%, no-hassle money-back guarantee. There's fast and free shipping. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com and click on his Anita diamond stud earrings, or visit Steven's showroom at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly. Buy real diamonds from a real jeweler you can trust. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.
All right, the Vatican Secret Archives.
Can't call it that anymore.
Can't call it that. They changed the name. They went woke. It's now called the Vatican Apostolic
heard that.
Archives.
The Pope has gone woke.
Yeah, the new Pope.
He
woke.
kind of is.
See what I'm saying?
He tweets about the saints a lot.
I love those.
Yeah, those are good when he puts the hashtag on there and the fleur de lis comes up. They're called the Vatican Apostolic Archives. The name was changed in 2019 by Pope Francis. It was called the Vatican Secret Archives. They changed it because Vatican Secret Archives sounds very sinister. And that could just be due to a Latin translation of what the original name for it was in Latin. So the verbatim translation was Vatican Secret Archives, which makes people think, oh, there's some secret shit in there. Like if you have a secret archive, chances are you're covering up some shit. But yeah, they changed the name because the original term was secretum, which that OnlyFans model knows a little bit about. And so then people thought that it was associated with the modern word secret. And so he said, what was the exact quote? Having lost the true meaning of the term secretum and instinctively associating its value to the concept expressed by the modern word secret in some areas and environments, even those of a certain cultural importance, this term has taken on the prejudicial meaning of something hidden, not to be revealed, and reserved for a few, the Pope said. So the secret archives were founded by Pope Paul V in 1612, and secret was something that was private, separate, and reserved, not in terms of something that you're trying to keep from public light, but there's still like a lot of weird shit in there and a lot of very interesting stuff in there that they have a good rule where you have to wait. I believe you have to wait 75 years from the time that a pope passes away until you can reveal like their archives, their writings.
Why do you feel like that's a good rule?
It's a good rule for them.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it's a smart rule that they came up with. If you're trying to hide shit, give it 75 years, because in 75 years, nobody will care about what happened 75 years ago to the same extent as if it was like 10 or 20 years.
For the most part.
Is there anything that happened 75 years ago that you need to know about? That you would still have that same
World War II
vitriol?
stuff.
Well, there's
JFK.
some of that in there. Not quite 75
right,
years.
but people, that's what, 10 years away? People will care.
Yeah. But in a different way. In like
MLK, that's coming up too.
But in a detached way, people would care about it more. Like it's you would find out about the JFK assassination and you'd be like, oh, fuck, I knew it.
I think people will care more about the JFK assassination in 10 years than they did 2 years after.
Do you think 2 years after?
Because it's been a secret for 60 years.
But 2 years after, if all the shit comes out, then you're like, fuck these people, and you like arrest them and
right, but then it would have been over and done with.
75 years later, you're like, I knew it was the mafia.
If they released all the truth about JFK immediately after, nobody would care anymore.
Or maybe they would not believe what happened.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I guess you're just trading when people are going to get really upset.
Yeah, you just push it off. You just delay.
Which is a good strategy.
It is a good strategy, yeah. So no one has seen the archives without expressed written permission, kind of like
of Major League Baseball.
Transmitting baseball games. There's a bunch of stuff that you have to submit, including you have to be like an accredited scholar to get back there and look at stuff. And that's just the stuff that they let that they let you see.
I'm okay with that.
So there's 53 miles of shelving. That's a lot of shelving, but also that might just be like a bunch of like aisles.
Yeah, it's not 53 miles long.
That would be funny if it was just a 53-mile long building.
I mean, how long's the Vatican?
Yeah, the Vatican
5 miles.
One of those micro states. But yeah, 53 miles of shelving where you can walk back and forth, and it's in a 2-story fireproof reinforced concrete bunker.
109 acres is the Vatican.
They did a good job just designating themselves being like, hey, we're our own country, Italy.
Yeah, it rocks. Have any of y'all been there?
I've not been to Italy, no. That's not true. I went to like the corner of Italy next to France. Went to a beach there one time, had a pizza, came back.
How was it?
It was nice. The beach wasn't as nice as some of the French beaches.
How was the pizza?
Oh, the pizza. Pizza was good.
Okay.
I give it a 8.
It's a rookie score.
No, it's not. It was a 8.0.
Okay.
I also took many bites of that pizza. But no, have you been to Italy?
No. I'd like to go to like Rome and the Vatican sometime, but
yeah. So before today, what did you guys know about the Vatican Secret Archives?
Dan Brown.
I didn't know anything. I think that wasn't loosely the Da Vinci Code based on it.
Not loosely. It's the whole thing. Well, so the Da Vinci, it's a bunch of stuff like that. I think Angels and Demons is the one where they end up down there. Good books and good movies. Remarkably inaccurate, but entertaining.
Yeah, so What were some of the more bold claims in the Da Vinci Code? That Jesus had a wife?
Correct. That he was married to Mary Magdalene. That they had a son.
That there's like a living bloodline of
and
Jesus Christ.
It was the woman that he was with, I think, that they were tracking down. I think she was a descendant of Jesus was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That could be wrong, but it's something like that. Good movies though. Tom Hanks.
Did you read the book?
Yeah. My grandmother was very upset with me that I read those books when I was like a child. And then she made me read some book pointing out all the inaccuracies of the Da Vinci.
Yeah, there was like a whole ecosystem that came out afterwards. Actually, here are all the plot holes in the Da Vinci Code.
Which is true. I mean, it's full of nonsense, but they were entertaining.
Yeah. So
is there anything in it that you were like,
No, I also read them when I was like 12 or 13 or something, but movies are good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie.
So to get into the archives, you have to be a qualified scholar. You have to have a 5-year degree or other equivalent university degree. Pursuing scientific research, you have to have an adequate knowledge of archival research. You have to submit an application to get in. You have to give your personal information, your background, education, what you do for a living, and why you're there. You have to have a letter from a recognized institute of research or a person qualified in their field of historical research, and you have to have a valid form of ID, and they only let 60 people in per day. You can't bring in an ink pen. You can't bring in a camera, no mobile phone. It's like a skiff. And so they keep a pretty close look on you. Basically, they have all these requirements to visit so that they can say no to whoever they want for whatever reason they want to not let you in. But there's a lot of stuff in there that people want to get their eyes on. Like they allegedly keep a historical record of the Vatican Bank in there that shows the Catholic Church's finances, which could be considerable.
What kind of money you think the Vatican has?
All right,
just in total.
I heard one person say
crazy.
I heard one person say $5 billion.
That's not even close.
To me, that seems low.
No.
Yeah, it seems super low. Don't they have more? I think I've seen that they have more territory than every Walmart or McDonald's combined, something like that.
Yeah, the real estate alone has to be worth well over a significant amount larger than $5 billion because they've got real estate essentially in Rome.
So are we saying the Vatican or the Catholic Church?
Oh, I guess the Vatican.
I'm seeing the Vatican has 10 to 15 billion, which I still would think is low. The Catholic Church obviously has way more than that.
Yeah, so they get money in for donations, which they then use the bank to distribute to various charities or organizations throughout the world. But yeah, apparently in the archives there's some information regarding the historical trend or the historical ledgers of the Vatican Bank. Which, how old is this bank? It's thousands of years old, and so just over the course of that time, I assume that you have a lot of stuff that's been put in there.
I'm seeing that the Catholic Church's wealth is estimated to be about $73 billion.
$73 billion.
Still lower than I would have guessed.
That sounds about right to me, I would say, give or take. In the Vatican archives, they've got a lot of interesting artifacts. They've got
We in the wrong business, baby. That shit is crazy, though.
What, starting a religion?
Yeah, we're fucking $70 billion, but that's crazy bread.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. They've got archives related to the trial against Galileo in there.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
When he was like, "Yeah, guess what? The universe doesn't revolve around the Earth. Like, you're a witch. We're gonna put you on trial." So they've got all the notes from that trial, like the historical documents from there. Got letters from Michelangelo. They have.
He's the disgruntled employee.
Yeah.
That was funny to me when I read that. I'm like, yo, people wasn't shit back then and they ain't shit now. Pay your workers.
Yeah. So Michelangelo, he wrote to the Pope and he said the Vatican guards haven't been paid for 3 months. And as a result of that, the guards are going to quit. So they kept that letter. Out of all the things from Michelangelo to have in your archive, just like a bad Yelp review is what you chose to put on them. There's also a design for a flying machine from a Brazilian priest. That was in the late 1600s, early 1700s. And he made several demonstrations to the court of King John V of Portugal and designed plans for a never-completed flying machine called the Passarola, which looked like a giant inflated bird. They've got that there. That goes along my theory that we figured out how to fly a long time ago. Past societies have figured it out, especially in South America.
I haven't heard your theory on this. Please expound.
I think that at some point in human existence, the ability to fly has been harnessed prior to the Wright brothers.
Based on
some things that they found in South America, some old artifacts that are
some of those little golden airplanes.
Yeah, little birds.
Are you throwing some ancient alien conspiracy?
I'm not saying that aliens taught them how to make a glider, but I think that people can figure out. They've been looking at birds since the dawn of human civilization. I think they could figure out, okay, I can build a paper airplane and figure out how to fly stuff.
All right, let's dig into this. So, what makes you think that they had or are you saying that they had the thought, or that they had the capability? Those are two separate claims.
I'm not saying that they had jet propulsion and they were able to fly across continents, but I think it is fair to say that people have figured out how to use gliders before.
Do you like off of a mountain or something like that?
Yeah, off a mountain. Maybe not
okay.
Maybe not with a propeller. Maybe they did, but if you're using gravity and there's like a hill that takes you up to a little ramp and lets you glide off the edge, I think people figured that out.
Interesting.
Maybe even bigger forms where like multiple people could be on them. I don't know. Just a theory that I have. And this,
you reminded me of that guy with the hair.
Aliens.
On LA.
Yeah. So what I'm very interested to hear more about, and there are people that go through it. Again, it's not like they release the archives and they're all typed up in a Word document and easily searchable online, so you can just read all of them. It takes scholars going in there that get access to it. But there's been a lot of speculation about the Nazis and the Catholic Church, where there's some finance questions, how much the church was giving to the Nazis, how much banking was allowed there, to also helping Nazis escape after World War II through the Vatican. So there's some accusations that people as high up as like head guards, or I guess commandants, people that were in charge of some of the Holocaust camps, the death camps, that they were given like Red Cross certificates by the Vatican to then escape to Argentina, get on a boat and get out before they got caught. So there's a lot of questions about Pope Pius XII being a Nazi envoy, essentially. They have in the archive, there's a transcript of a conversation that took place between them in 1939. It happened in Germany, and it was secretly written down by one of his aides, one of the Pope's aides. And there's a situation where the Pope knew things were falling apart. And ever since World War II, Pius has been this subject of extensive criticism for not stopping the Holocaust. Pope Pius met several times with the Nazi envoy Philip von Hessen. He didn't really trust him, apparently, but they still had a bunch of meetings, and people want to know more about exactly what the Catholic Church did in relation to the Nazis. They also have a correspondence between Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis there.
How'd they get that?
So apparently, neither guy was Catholic, by the way, but they were trying to make Pope Pius IX choose their side. So the Union and the Confederacy both wanted the support of the Catholic Church.
Interesting.
The Catholic Church was like, that's your problem.
Each of them individually wrote to the Vatican.
Yes.
I thought you made it sound like it was letters between the two of them.
I
Maybe I misunderstood.
I think Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis both independently wrote to the church.
That makes sense.
Trying to get their approval.
Did they have an opinion in the matter?
I don't think so. I think they were just like, not our monkey, not our circus. We'll let that play out. And we'll then
what do you think about just kind of backtracking? I want to get your thoughts on the neutrality of the Catholic Church during Nazi Germany, because they were that was like the criticism of the entire thing, right? Was like they were very, I don't want to say very, but they were kind of neutral in the entire.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get your opinion on that.
They wanted to stay out of it because they were inside of Italy, where Mussolini and the fascists had power, and they were aligned with the Axis. They probably knew about a lot of stuff that was happening.
Yeah, a lot of the archive said that they received word that a lot of the atrocities.
Yeah, they knew that the Nazis were sending people to death camps and persecuting Jews and making them live in ghettos and mass exterminating them. I think they knew about the entire operation, but they also didn't want to do anything about it because they lived inside one of the Axis powers.
All right, Monday morning quarterback.
I would have been anti-Nazi.
That's what surprised me more than anything. It's like, why, if your entire identity is the moral high ground, like why would you not take a stand there?
Right, because that's their identity. But in reality, they're also very like pragmatic sometimes. And they're like, I'd rather not upset the apple. I got a pretty good thing going for me as the Catholic Church. I've got hundreds of billions of dollars potentially in value.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
I mean, same thing with Switzerland. Switzerland was like, yeah, we'll take your money. Don't get us involved. We won't tell anybody where we got the money from. How hard is it to set up a Swiss bank account?
I don't know that I have ever inquired about this question.
Because I feel like Swiss banking has really taken a back seat to the Cayman Islands, tax havens in the Caribbean. Did Swiss banking fall off?
I don't know enough about it, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I also love the fact that the Catholic Church, the names of the popes that they have, Like Pope Innocent? That begs a lot of questions, doesn't it?
I wasn't familiar with his work.
Yeah, Pope Innocent? Innocent of what? That's what my first question would be.
Everything, man.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
He was only the Pope for 18 years.
And then they've got some guys like, I think Pope John Paul I, he was like the William Henry Harrison, right? Like died super quick. Had a heart attack, they said. Some people think that he was poisoned or murdered because he was trying to reform the Catholic Church. Notes of his
33 days.
33 days. Notes of his tenure are also in the archive. Although, listen, if you're doing crimes, why are you like recording the details of all your crimes and then putting them in the archive? Like, so future generations can look back on you and be like, oh, that was a bad guy.
Yeah, all the conspiracy theories I was reading about the secret archives were stuff that I was like, why? Like, there apparently are some people who believe there's something down there that proves Jesus never existed. Feel like that's something the Catholic Church wouldn't keep around.
If they had any of that information, guess what? That's going into the nearest fire.
Yeah, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But
maybe it's to like pass the secrets down to further future generations that then they get in power in the Vatican, and then they're like, hey, this is how we run everything, so keep it going.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of conspiracies about what is actually down there that are interesting. The proof that Jesus didn't exist, and that would be in a correspondence between Nero and St. Paul. Well, by the way, you see that they claim to have found St. Nicholas's tomb?
Saw that.
In Turkey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Santa Claus.
Santa
Claus was Turkish.
They were really messing with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, give Santa a break.
Yeah. Let him sleep. So yeah, some people think that they're hiding proof that Jesus didn't exist. There's also a thing called the Third Secret of Fatima that people think that they are housing there. It's a secret document. In 1917, there were 3 kids from Portugal that each got prophecies, and the supposed suppression of the third secret fueled rumors that its contents were related to a nuclear holocaust in 1917. But they released the contents of the third secret in 2000, and people still believe it. Some people think they have the biggest stockpile of porn in the world. I guess they confiscated it and then just left it there. So they think that the Vatican archives have the largest collection of porn in the world. Copenhagen's Museum of Erotica adds fuel to these speculations, in addition to writings by National Review founder William F. Buckley and author Camille Paglia. So it hasn't really been disproven yet that they have the world's largest stockpile of porn. But I feel like now the world's biggest stockpile of porn probably just exists on the internet. Porn was probably super rare to come by for no pun, but for like thousands of years. Would people just draw on like if you were really good at drawing a naked chick back in like the ancient times, your services were probably in super high demand, right?
Ooh, like yeah. Da Vinci probably got some work.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like great artists, did they like in their downtime? They were just like, I'm gonna do more boobs.
I mean, they were doing a lot of naked statues.
They did, yeah, a lot of naked statues, a lot of naked paintings. Some people think that they've got evidence of UFOs down in the archives. So
I'm so sick of that. I just want it to be true, It's like I'm tired of getting teased.
You want to know for real?
Yeah, just let it be, man.
You just want to know, or you want it to be true?
I want it both.
Interesting.
I would love for that to be true. I feel like once we as a society know with certainty that there is extraterrestrial life, our motives would change.
Would they? I think people would just go about their business.
Sure, but let's say we have, okay, now I'm
Because they say that they might have alien skulls in the Vatican.
Okay, let's say we know that something exists, right, outside of us, and it's an intelligent species, and we have communication with them. You don't think that would change our goal as society? Because what's our goal now? You just wake up and go to work and shit like that, right? I think our goal would be like, yo, there's something else out there that gets bigger than us. Like, it's not just about us. No,
I think in theory you might be right.
But like, how would that manifest itself
Yeah.
in behavior? Like, I can't stop going to work.
Well, I think as a species, like, our goal wouldn't be to create a massive market for exchange. It would be to provide for our species enough so that we can then have the freedom to explore the universe with all of our weapons at, on call. Because I think the majority of our brilliance as human beings gets suppressed by poverty. I mean, think of all the brilliant people that we'll never hear of because they just have to make ends meet.
My response to that would be, if they were real, the people making all those decisions on a macro level would already know about it and would be altering their behavior to reflect that. Like, if aliens were real, our government knows.
Probably, yeah.
So, then I feel like that shit would already be happening.
So do you think that if we find out aliens are real, most of human energy is then spent trying to figure out, like, teach me your science, teach me what you know about the universe?
I would think, 1,000%. Because imagine an alien civilization that can traverse intergalactically at, the utmost efficiency. There's obviously some kind of energy source that they have that we don't, right? And it's probably efficient, meaning not detrimental to the environment, right? And so I would assume they would want to share that technology. Imagine they do. Imagine they come here and they're like, why the fuck are you guys using this? It's ruining everything. Like, imagine that conversation. They're like, well, we don't really know anything else. It was like, wait, okay, well, here's this. Do this. And then we figure out a way to, have a alternate source of energy that is not detrimental to, shit like that. I would think that would alter the course of human trajectory, because you would shut down immediately the fossil fuel industry, right? You would shut down. You would just massively increase the well-being of humanity.
They'd be like, wait, you guys on Earth die? You get older?
Say old as fuck. Wow.
You start
doing that shit.
You deteriorate? No, we've all been hanging out.
Imagine coming up like, yo, why are people hungry? Like, give them food. Or but it's like, it's complicated, man. There's laws against that.
Wait, you guys eat other stuff that also lives with you? You put it in your mouths and you swallow it? You need food?
It would be funny to.
I don't care how taboo that becomes in the next 50 years, whatever.
Eating?
I'll never stop eating animals.
Oh, I was talking about animals and vegetables. They're probably like, you eat like stuff that you grow,
as opposed to what?
And not needing to eat.
Oh, I see. Oh, I thought you were saying like making a moral judgment on eating animals.
No, I wasn't necessarily doing that. I was just saying like you eat other just living things in general.
Got it.
Vegetables.
I will be eating animals until my last day.
Do you think that I'm with you? I cook probably the best steak on this podcast. No, I guarantee I cook the best steak on this podcast. But like, do you think that it's a moral quandary?
No.
Really, you don't think animal suffering is a thing? Because I do.
I think there are certainly like ways we do it that are not the best, but just the act itself, no.
Got you.
Let me ask you, Big T, if you never had to eat again, like if we got that technology from aliens that are like, you don't need to consume fuel, you're going to be high energy, feeling great, no matter what. We have that technology. Would you still like go out there and eat a burger?
Yeah, every couple weeks or so.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're delicious.
Yeah, they do taste good. I would still drink beer.
See, I wouldn't do that one, but for the same reasons that you like beer, I love burgers.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Arian, it's kind of it's impossible to know. It's hard to think about even like what would be different about. You're also assuming that aliens, if we discover that they exist, that they've got all this advanced technology, they know more than us, and that
they would necessarily have to have that.
Yeah.
If they can travel from places that we can't.
Right, if they came to visit us.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would think that they would view us as primitive. Very primitive. Like, I mean, the way we look at like certain species in the animal kingdom, I think that's how, if they exist, that's how they would look at us. Even though we're like advanced to our standards, to them they're like, yeah, y'all are fighting over resources still. You know what I mean?
What if we discovered that there was civilization on Mars that didn't know about us? They were primitive compared to us.
Right.
How do we go about introducing ourselves to them?
See, that would be tough. The first thing you'd have to do is like establish some kind of baseline of communication, and that could take a long time. Like the first thing you do is, how do you communicate with something that doesn't have? Do they communicate with each other first? You know, like do they have the concept of I, of we, of, you know, like little linguistic things that we take for granted? Do they have that? Because I think the interesting, like our closest relative are chimpanzees, and as much as we communicate with them, they still are not on record ever asking a question like why, like the notion of inquiring, about that, they have never asked a question, and so that is a huge. Do they understand that? And I even met like, so if I'm a Trekkie, so watching Star Trek, that was their prime directive. If they were to come across a civilization, never interact with them and let them know that we came from the stars, because that would alter their trajectory. And our goal was to like just help people and not influence them.
So it would probably be more likely that if we found a living being or a civilization on another planet, they wouldn't look like us. They'd either be like a new species of animal.
They not like that.
Or they could be a germ.
Yeah, I mean, you would develop in concordance to your environment, just like we did.
Yeah,
like we fit perfectly with this environment, but we would die on any other one.
Yeah. Well, if they got the aliens down there in the Vatican, I feel like somebody would have talked about it at this point.
Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard whistle to keep on the wraps.
Yeah, apparently Jimmy Carter allegedly asked them for records.
It's still alive. It's crazy, bro.
Get them for turning 100.
He should get what?
He should get the records now that he's.
Yeah, just let him see whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Or at least tell him, hey, I've got the archives for you. You can take a look. But yeah, 53 miles of shelving, 35,000 volumes, 12 centuries of documents kept in this place. There's a lot of stuff that people want to see down there. They want to know, because the Catholic Church, they controlled a lot of people's lives in terms of giving them instructions on how to live for thousands of years. So they want to see. I'll tell you this, Catholic Church, yeah, they've got some secrets to hide, but I think that anybody that has that much power also does a lot of shit to maintain that power. I don't think that there's anything inherently evil about the Catholic Church besides the fact that they have so much power. And when you have that much power, you're going to do some bad stuff.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, something like that. Is there anything down there that you guys found to be particularly interesting or insightful?
I kind of hyperfixated on the neutrality during Nazi Germany.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we kind of touched on it, but I think that they absolutely knew what was going on, and they chose to stay neutral, which it's cowardly. And I would think somebody that holds the moral high ground in society, because their whole thing is like they don't have an army. They don't have, I mean, they kind of do, but it's not any normal army could just whoop their ass. So like they don't have any. The world kind of leaves them alone because they're just like, hey, we're neutral, we chill, we're but because of that, they're almost politically scared to take a stance. Well, back then they were. I think they've recently. The Pope said something about he called for a ceasefire in Gaza, and that was controversial. I think Israel actually responded to them, but so they did it like in today's modern, I guess contentious conflict. They have taken a side, and it's just to me back then, which is even more people have died. Why you would just remain so neutral is just wild to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I kind of hyper fixated on that one. There's a few more I saw. Let me pull up my notes.
Yeah, they were in a position where you're right. They don't have an army. They just have like people that are in other armies everywhere in the world that have essentially like committed themselves to the Catholic Church.
The Swiss Guard, though.
The Swiss Guard.
Yep.
Coolest outfits in the game.
They are pretty cool. Yeah, I'll give you that. But they don't have like a stockpile of ammunition. They don't have any planes.
I'd be willing to bet they do.
You think
Not
they got
planes. The Vatican's can defend itself, I bet, if push came to shove.
You think so? They've got like
I don't think they
a
can.
panic room.
I would be shocked if all the stuff they have, if they don't
that's
have,
what I'm saying.
they
Like,
don't
what
have
do
a
they
few
have?
guns down there.
Well, they've got a couple guns. They've got security, but
Yeah, they have security,
like,
which is
any
like,
army could just be like, "Hey, we're coming in."
Well, sure, if
I
the
think it's
U.S.
like
was like, we're
150
taking over the Vatican, sure, but I bet they've got some stuff down there that you don't know about.
I think they can put up a fight, but it wouldn't be a good one. Because I think they have a total of like 150 or something like that soldiers. It's just not that many.
That's a lot for 109 acres.
Not really.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of...
Push of a button, my land.
Sure, but I bet they've got more than you realize.
They'd probably have a security deal with Italy too,
Yeah.
where Italy has their back if somebody tries to knock on the door. Mad Dog McKinsey, have you guys ever been to the Vatican?
No.
Do you guys watch the like Christmas specials that they do, the live broadcasts from the Vatican?
No.
No,
I'm not
I don't
that
think
Catholic.
I have.
The regalia and all the procedures. It seems like no fun at all. Do you think it'd be fun to be the Pope?
No.
Oh.
I don't think it would be.
Nah, a lot of obligations.
And you're old. It's like a ton of stress when you're in your 80s and like...
I think Pope Benedict really opened the eyes to like, this shit ain't fun. Because he's like, this sucks so bad, I'm just going to go into a castle in like Switzerland or wherever and never be heard from again.
Yeah, it's like you're everybody, you're a big boss. Nothing good ever. There's never anything like that fun that you get to do as Pope. You just get to declare, okay, I'm blessing this thing today. You have to be perfect. There's a lot of pressure to be perfect as a Pope.
But I'm also like, those guys, like that's their thing. They're like into that vibe.
Yeah, it's all that they know.
Yeah, like they spend their whole lives feeling called by God to do that, and then, become bishops and then cardinals, and
I think being a cardinal would be fun just for the hats.
yeah, and then you get to like shit talk and pick the new pope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pope works for you as a bishop.
Or as a cardinal.
Oh yeah, as a cardinal.
Bishop, archbishop, cardinal. Yeah, but like I think those guys like the farm system has developed them into like, this is like all I want in life.
And you're like the ultimate fall guy for anything bad that happens.
Do you think so though? Or do you think that's just God?
You can just blame God?
Be like, God has, yeah.
It's God's wish that we embezzled all this money?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess they did say that for a long time.
I think that those guys are so bought in that they're having fun with it, or not fun necessarily, but like they feel this pull to do this.
So one of the more interesting things that I've read just a little bit about is the big gap in history that the archives have. So the archives used to be kept at this one palace which is where the Pope used to live. I think it was called the Lateran Palace. And then by the 11th century, they got moved to 3 different locations. There were some that were kept in the Lateran, some that were in St. Peter's Basilica, and the Palatine Palace. So between the 11th and 13th century, a lot of those archives vanished. And in 1404, when the Vatican was taken over, a lot of the papal registers and historical documents were thrown in the street. Pope Innocent left, and Pope Gregory sold off a large number of the archives, including some of the papal registers. And then 1612, Pope Paul V ordered all the Catholic Church records to be collected in a single location, which didn't actually end up happening, or no one saw all the records in that single location until 1881. So there's like 300 years of history that is lost. There's a conspiracy that those 300 years never existed, which is just such a fun thing to think about and how it blows the mind. Like nothing happened between the dates of like 1200 and 1400 because they never actually existed. We just skipped over 300 years in that time span.
We weren't around. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I think about that shit all the time.
Like everything that you learned about this period of history was just invented. Somebody wrote a story.
Well, just the fact that I didn't exist, to my knowledge, until 1986. Like I just wasn't here. Like what the, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird as fuck to think about. And then like one day I'm not gonna be here. That's wild to think about. Like just done with me, no more me.
Yeah, it could just be a story that you heard about before you were born.
True.
But then it's also weird to think about like this kind of stuff, like a podcast. Like when we die, this will still exist somewhere.
It's a record.
Yeah.
A primary source.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say for posterity? Anything you'd like to put down there? Like this is Mad Dog's thoughts and proof that she existed.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's heavy.
What would you say?
I don't know either. I'd probably just say I'm so happy that Dan Snyder is no longer the owner of the football team that I root for.
On that vein, Madeline Conroy wants it on record. Fuck Deshaun Watson. It's always been that way.
Okay.
Here's an interesting question. If you died, God willing, that won't be for a very long time, and someone went through and listened to, let's say an AI, listened to like everything you've ever recorded.
Yeah.
How close do you think that image of you would be to your actual self?
Okay, so out of all the content that I've put out publicly.
Yeah.
You ate horse shit on camera, bro. That's crazy.
I did, but that was for a reason.
Promises made, promises delivered.
Obviously.
It's because I'm a man of he's a man of his word.
But anybody who ever would disagree with you in the future will always be like, you talking about the dude that ate horse shit? That's going to be a thing.
Yo, I've already got a guy that everything that I say, he just replies with a hand-drawn sketch of me being shorter than a computer and typing onto a giant keyboard.
Smart guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one of many things that I've done. But to answer Big T's question, how would it line up with my image of myself? I think it'd probably be pretty close.
I think in the last couple years, it would be closer.
Yeah.
I think Macrodosing has expanded your brand to to explore the deeper side of you.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
To like know me on a personal level.
Yeah, like really what you think and how you know what makes Eric tick.
Well, it's nice because this is like, you know, a long form podcast where we sit around shooting the shit and you get to like expand on things. Part of my take's great because it hits the topics and there's like, you know, sometimes a time constraint on how far we're going to dive into one topic in particular. Both are good for different reasons, but I think in terms of like a true like everyday personality, definitely a lot more of that on this.
Aw, what a warm sentiment.
Yeah, it's nice.
We get the real Eric.
So, Big T,
Ah,
what would the answer be for you?
I think very close.
Yeah, you think? Yeah. Well,
I mean, y'all know me. Am I any different?
what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Big T. Arian, what about you?
you're a teddy bear, man.
Yeah, I think Big T is like softer off camera.
I think so too.
I don't think I agree with that. I don't do anything on here that I wouldn't do elsewhere.
I think it's because we know you on a deeper level. You come across like this. I don't freaking give a heck. You're a nice guy, you know.
I would hope that I'm a nice guy.
There are some times when Big T is like, we're not including this part in the podcast, and then he just says something that would be a fantastic addition to the podcast that isn't even that.
Yes.
It's not even that bad to say.
It says that shit a lot. Don't put this in there, but bam, dope ass insight.
Yeah, great insight. Not really that controversial, but Big T just doesn't.
Yeah, but now you're overselling it.
But they'll never know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
they'll
but
never
that
know.
makes it better because
Yeah,
now
I'm hyping you up.
Yeah, you leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start an OnlyFans with your hot takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
They tried to get rid of porn a few years ago and make it just like a content thing, and people lost their minds.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, a horrible business decision by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People come to you for what they come to you for, bro.
If there is an archive out there, and there is now an archive of like a lot of everybody's digital footprint, do you think that survives the test of time? Do you think like
I mean, I guess as long as the internet.
500 years from now? Like, well, that's a real thing. Is link rot? Have you read about link rot?
Is that like
what's
links
that?
going away after a while?
Yeah, it's like websites that are born, leave, get shut down. Those articles and that transcript and all the information about that goes away at some point.
Yeah.
So it becomes like unsearchable.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a chance that like in 100 years, what we think of right now as being like a permanent archive of our digital thoughts, whether that's on social media, on blogs, on podcasts, just like texting people, emails that you send, there's a good chance that might not be there.
Yeah. How long do you think the internet's going to be around? Because I feel like, obviously, projecting 50, 100 years into the future, things are going to be radically different. But I feel like the internet's a pretty good setup we got.
It just becomes more ingrained in your personal, where people don't even think about the internet anymore. It's just the world. It like merges into the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. But like the internet would still exist. I'm saying, like, are we going to come up with...
Neuralink, bro.
Yeah.
Neuralink.
Oh,
We are going to link with the internet permanently in our brains.
Arian, I made a recent purchase. You know me, I'm not like a big spender. I did buy
you got me that frother for my birthday.
Yeah. What was that, $12? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I used it this morning to mix my coffee.
There we go. And it was nice and frothy, right?
The sound it makes may be better than the taste of coffee. The sound of a froth.
Yeah. It sounds so good.
Yeah.
So I made a recent purchase. You may remember that I did purchase the Apple Vision Pro, which I have in my backpack right now.
I forgot you got one of those.
That was a big fucking waste of money.
It super was. Yeah.
As in terms of the stuff that I've wasted money on, I would say that's probably the biggest waste of money I've ever had. Maybe betting $8,000 on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl that one year. But outside of gambling, I think the Apple Vision Pro was the biggest waste of money. It was like $5,000.
Are they still selling those, or have they given up on that?
I don't know. You can't do shit with it. I don't know what the purpose behind it is. The stuff that you can get on like the Apple Vision store, not that great. The technology is very interesting for sure. But I went out last week. I bought the Meta Quest, the Facebook or Meta version of that headset. Guess how much that cost?
$600.
Yes, I think about $500.
All right. Hey, good guess from
guess.
Big T.
Good guess. After taxes, Big T might be spot on.
Yeah. Now you're looking at $550.
$550. I think it was $550.
Okay.
Maybe even $560 or $570.
Suck on that.
So
Good job, Big T.
Thank you.
bought this thing. Let me tell you, it is about 500 times better than the Apple Vision Pro in terms of stuff that you can do on it.
What are you doing on
It
there?
rocks. So last night I watched NBA highlights on it. I was at center court. I was underneath the basket.
See, I don't like that.
No, for NBA, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. If the Apple could figure out a way to do that,
it was amazing. Having the control, you have controllers in your hands, and then you like point it at stuff, and you can click stuff. It's way easier to do. I think more companies have adopted that technology because it's been around a little bit longer than have fucked with Apple. But the stuff, like I downloaded this flight simulator, right? I'm flying missions for the cartel in a Cessna. I'm in the cockpit steering around. It's awesome. I used it to do like a VR headset for my computer, which you can't do with an Apple Vision Pro. Can't hook it up to a PC. So I was actually in my like combat air simulator, looking around in a dogfight in an F-16. It's pretty cool stuff. I don't know why the Apple thing is 10 times more expensive, but I'll tell you, this MetaQuest.
What made you buy another one when the first one flopped so bad?
So I did my reading and my research, and I was like, well, way more companies have developed technology for the Meta one. So it's 10 times less expensive. What do I have to lose?
$500.
$500. Yeah, I guess $500.
$550.
But yeah, fuck the Apple Vision Pro. Arian,
Yeah,
I'm glad you're on board.
Matter of fact, 2 days ago, this dude, or 2 or 3 days ago, dude hit me on a DM. He's like, "Yo, I remember you on an episode, and you had the Apple Vision Pro. Like, should I buy it? I've been saving up." And I was like, "Absolutely not, absolutely not."
Yeah.
Again, I think, like I said, I was like, "There's not enough interface on there for it to justify the purchase." It's really cool. To me, the best uses I have out of it is when I'm on planes. I can go into like this theater mode where everything's black and the screen is right there. That's the best thing I've seen with it. But there's not a lot of good apps. There's nothing to do on it. Like, you can do all your things that you can do on the iPhone, just with not a big ass piece of headgear on. So it's not. They need to do more with it, but I don't think they're going to, because the response hasn't been that great.
That's what does anyone in here have an Apple Watch?
Yeah,
I do.
I've always asked about the watch. What are you doing on the watch that you can't just do on your phone?
What I use it for is like tracking like physical activity.
They have that on the phone, though.
Yeah, but like it monitors your heart rate, calories burned, things like that.
Like while you're actually doing the workout.
So
Yeah.
is that the main purpose of it for you? That's it?
Sometimes it's nice if you're in a situation where you don't want to be looking at your phone all the time. If you get
Look at your watch.
yeah, you get like a notification.
So you look at the
that's
tiny
funny.
phone.
Of a text. You just like
That's
you just lift your hand up like that, and you see, oh, I got a text message from this person, but you don't get immersed in it like you would in a phone. This is
I'm with you, Big
look,
T. I had an Apple Watch and I threw it away for that exact reason. I'm like, I have a phone. Like, it's
I don't.
it's taking me away from my phone, but making me be on my watch. And I was like, it's
just a tiny little phone.
tiny little phone.
Big T.
It was cool every now and then to feel like, I don't know, you're too young for Dick Tracy, but Dick Tracy used to have a phone watch.
You're too young for Dick Tracy.
It was right. That was right around my era, wasn't it?
Maybe when we were
Tracy
little
started?
kids.
Yeah. Anyway, no, they had a movie in the 90s, I think, or the 80s. I could be wrong about that. But anywho, he had a phone watch, and he used to, like, you know what I mean? That every now and then picking up a phone call like that was cool, but other than that, very, very little pragmatic utility.
If we're having a conversation, Big T, and I get a text and I'm down here like this looking at my phone, you're like, oh, he's checked out right now.
But you could do the same thing you just described on your watch. Look, oh, I got a text, and put it back down.
Yeah, but if I just go like this and not pick up my phone, it's a different vibe.
You're looking at a screen. It's the exact same thing.
I think it's a little bit better. It's not.
I think it's more awkward to go, would you look at the time?
I agree. I don't think that it's that great of investment, but this MetaQuest thing, it's a game changer. On Saturday, I was watching college football. I was watching boxing. I had 3 screens set up on the thing for different games, and I was watching boxing down here, and then I think I had Twitter pulled up in a different browser, and they were giant screens that were just in the middle of my living room. I'm talking.
How efficient is that?
It's
it looks good?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
On the Apple Vision, it looks pretty good, but on this, it was so much easier to manage.
Now, do they have integration with any kind of apps like Netflix or anything? Because I know on the Apple Vision Pro they don't. You have to go to Netflix.com or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really used it that much. I know that they have a YouTube app, but I was on YouTube TV on the browser. And yeah, it was super easy.
But it looks like it just looks like you have 3 TVs set up.
3 giant screens.
And it's okay.
Like at one point,
because I would buy that just for watching sports.
At one point, I had the Texas game up, Texas Georgia, and I put it on like the biggest mode possible. And yeah, I was like looking all over the field. It felt awesome.
Interesting.
I haven't tried the new Meta joint, but from the Apple Vision Pro, that's what I loved about it was its ability to have like different screens in different places and pull up all this different stuff. That was really dope. And when you're watching something like sports, that's pretty dope.
And also Apple Vision Pro, they do the eye tracking where you like look at stuff and then you click on it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always work. It doesn't always work that great.
How does Meta do it?
You can either point at stuff and then it's got like a little cursor that goes out, or you can have the controllers use the controllers to point directly at something and then click a button. So it's way easier.
The Apple Vision Pro is very accurate in good lighting. When it's low light, it does not. It will not track your eyes.
Yeah. So this is I love it just for the flight simulator alone. It's been awesome. And here's another thing that's way better. This is what Apple fucked up big time. The Apple Vision Pro, it's like just for you. So you put it on and then you want to let somebody else try and be like, hey, this is so cool. Watch this video. You put it on them and it's all fucked up because it's customized for you. And there's only like a guest mode that you can get on. So you can't even use it.
Interesting.
You have to log out of your profile. They have to log into it. It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
And if I'm watching something cool on my headset and I want to show somebody, hey, look, it feels like you're courtside at an NBA game. Try it on. You can't do that. With this, you can just take it off and I could put it on you and be like.
So you would recommend this?
So far, I don't know. I haven't really done that much with it. I've watched sports on it and I did flight simulators on it.
Because I would get it just to have like 3 TVs basically for like a college football Saturday.
So I'll bring it in Big T and I'll let you try it on.
Okay.
And we can set it up with like a bunch of different screens.
Okay.
And you can see how cool it is.
Nice little Christmas gift coming up, huh?
Yeah, this is actually not sponsored at all. I should be getting paid by Meta to do this. But yeah, 500.
Oh, also don't they have like integration as far as like there's things that you can do with people who also have another set? Like you can play games and do different things. Apple doesn't have that.
Yeah. So there's the whole metaverse thing, which is one part of it where you go into this like virtual world or whatever.
Ready Player One, if you will.
And there's a bunch of games that you can. So when I was watching the NBA stuff, I was on the NBA app, and you could like walk in courtside with your little character or whatever. And then there's a bunch of other people that are standing there watching the game too. You can go up to them and like talk to them, and then like friend them. I'm not doing any of that shit. Maybe if there's a way, if they can figure out a way where I can troll them in the metaverse, I might have to do that. I might have to do that. And I think you can screen record on it too.
Are you familiar with the differences in the $300 and $500 versions? What am I not getting with the $300 one?
I think it's probably memory.
No, that's fine.
I think you get more memory with the $500 one. But yeah, this is an unpaid testimonial for that. So come fuck with me in the metaverse.
Do they have like Mii's? Like, do you have a metaverse character?
Yes, that was part of it, but I just clicked the very first thing, so I'm like some old, like, I was about to say some old white guy, but I am kind of an old white guy. Yeah. But I'm talking about like a 60-year-old.
Middle-aged, brother. Middle-aged.
No, this guy's like 60 or 65.
Are you turning 40 next month?
I'm turning 40 next month.
How do we feel about that?
I feel good about it because I've been thinking of myself as being 40 for the last 2 years. So when I turned 38, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm basically 40.
Okay. So you've softened the blow.
I softened the blow. I did that when I turned 30, too. I was like, when I was 28, I was like, oh, shit, I'm 30.
Yeah.
But, hey, aging is beautiful, man. Don't let nobody talk you out of it.
Thank you. Well, you think that way because you like older women.
Well, see, that's the thing.
For a guy.
You're not wrong. I have conversations with some people I'm interested in, and they're continuing to dye their hair black because they don't want the grays to show. I'm like, let the grays show. It's a beautiful thing, man. And plus, it's a part of life. It is what it is. And the sooner you come to terms with one day you're not going to be here, the more peaceful your life will be.
Yeah, you don't need to go out there and do things like fix your hair as you get older.
Yeah.
Just age gracefully.
You can fix your hair, just don't dye it, B. And enough with the Botox in the face too. That shit is horrible.
Yeah, PFT.
Eminem.
Yeah. What? You're gonna get some nasty rumors started about me.
Eminem, the girl who played Peyton on One Tree Hill, what's her name?
Haley Burton.
Yeah, she let her hair go like completely gray.
Mm-hmm. And she's married to Dean Morgan.
She lives in like upstate New York.
These people are.
Fun fact.
2 hotties.
Who else was on One Tree Hill?
Sophia Bush.
Sophia Bush. I
Chad Michael Murray.
I sunbathed with her one time.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
We sunbathed together.
Wait,
Where
what
was
do you
this?
mean?
This is
What
it.
is this? What does that mean? We sunbathe? Is it just sat outside?
Explain.
Yeah, we sunbathed. What's so hard to understand about that?
Where? How?
I need more
Why?
details.
This was in Texas.
On this.
This is right outside Austin, Texas. There was a place that you would go. Fuck, what was the name of it? Something Hole.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
And she was there, and so
That wouldn't be a pause.
so her and I were in the hole together. And fuck, what was the name of that place? I don't know. It was like 30, 45 minutes outside of Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Hole.
Oh,
Yeah, it's put like
sunbathing.
swimming hole. It gets shut down every now and again for bacteria if you search for like bacteria found in Austin Hole.
I'm just getting the best swimming holes in
Yeah.
Austin.
Tell me what the best swimming holes in Austin are.
7 of the best swimming holes in Austin, Texas. Barton Springs Pool.
Nope.
Deep Eddy Pool.
Nope.
Oh, Blue Hole.
It was not Blue Hole, I don't
Drive
think.
45 minutes south of Austin to reach the glorious Blue Hole, located just outside of Wimberley.
Ew. It might have been Blue Hole.
Krause Springs, Barton Creek Greenbelt, Hamilton Pool
Hamilton
Preserve.
Pool.
Hamilton Pool Preserve?
It was Hamilton Pool. Her and I sunbathed.
Wow. It's like a little cave.
Yeah, a little cave. And there's like a waterfall in the back of it. Yeah, we were laying out. There's a poisonous snake. And a kid was like, there's a snake over here. And then I, as a brave man, walked over there. I was like, get away from the snake. And I started to approach the snake myself. So she probably saw me and she was like, that's a man.
Wow.
Yeah, not to brag. All right, so Big T, I'm just going to show you real quick. This is some of the, because you can screen record, which I look forward to doing very much. This is what I was seeing on the Apple Vision, or excuse me, on the MetaQuest.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking for. I just want it to look like I have like 5 TVs.
Yeah. It took me a second to figure out how to work everything, but yeah, I was moving stuff around. I was watching Penn State, Oregon, while simultaneously watching SMU Clemson, and then boxing over there on the left.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. It's legit.
I might look into this.
All right, so if anybody out there has a MetaQuest and knows some cool stuff for me to look at, let me know.
Have you watched porn on it?
I've not watched porn on it. I'm sure that will happen.
I did on my Apple Vision Pro just to test it out.
You can't, though.
What are you talking? Yes, you can.
I thought you couldn't.
I did.
Like, just in a browser?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like?
Hands free. It's pretty cool. You know, because usually you got a device or something in one hand, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And so this was hands free.
Like,
I didn't double up though. That felt kind of sus.
But but what about like a TV? A TV's also hands free.
I can't remember the last time I watched porn on my television. That's why.
You had to pop like a DVD in. I had a VHS.
Yeah.
You would have
Back
to
in the
like
day.
put a cassette tape in.
I'm from the era where we used to have to watch scrambled porn, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, man.
So
Kids never know that struggle.
how would you rate the porn experience on an Apple Vision Pro?
It was all right. It wasn't nothing I didn't do it again. It wasn't that great.
Like
you know?
it's a web browser.
Yeah.
You have web browsers. I feel like if you're doing VR, the whole point is to be like in VR.
Yeah, but also I don't think I indulge in porn to like have a night with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, date night.
I have a goal, and I'm out of there. I'm not trying to like make it romance myself.
Yeah, light some candles. You put the headset on. You're like, oh shit, there's not enough light.
It's time. It's time for me tonight.
Yeah. I'm sure that I will experience porn in the metaverse at some point. I will let you know. I'll give my honest review on it.
Now that would be cool. So, like a website for people, and it's gonna be flooded with dudes for sure. But like a website for like live exchange of like, masturbation. That would be a dope thing.
Are you talking about chat roulette?
I don't. Is that a thing? What is that?
Oh, you don't remember chat roulette? Big T, you're familiar with chat roulette, right?
I've heard, yeah.
So chat roulette was a website. I don't know if it still exists or not, but you could go to it and you would just have your camera on you, and then you would look at somebody else that was randomly also on chat roulette. And then if you didn't want to talk to that person, you would just hit next.
Yeah, something like that.
But it was all dudes jacking off.
1,000% would be. It would be very little.
Should I go on chat roulette right now?
Yeah, see what they're popping.
Let's do chat roulette. Chatroulette.com. See if it's still a real thing. Meet strangers worldwide. Are you sure you want to look at this, Big T?
I mean, it's a horrible idea. But...
Okay, ready? Everybody take a bet. What's the first thing we're going to see?
Wait, I've never been on chat roulette. I don't really know what it is.
Do people still use it enough to like get someone that's on there?
First thing you're gonna see is a
penis.
This could be.
Oh, it's gonna be a woman.
No, it's just gonna be a regular
It's
person.
for sure not.
The question is it going to be a guy jacking off or not?
No.
Is it like Omegle?
No. It's gonna be because I assume you had to type in whether you're a male or a female. If you type in you're a male, they want to keep you on, so the algorithm is gonna push to you a woman.
Let's see. Start. Hey, what's up?
Please screen record.
Wait, these are.
Then I can hit check.
Is that live? You're on it live right now?
It's just showing pictures.
Yeah. What if I hit check mark? Like yes.
Oh, so do they have it now where like you have to?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, did he get rid of us?
Hey, what's up, buddy? This guy's about to jack off. This guy's definitely gonna jack off.
You keep getting skipped.
No, I don't know how it works. So it's just like this guy's laying in bed in this picture. That guy's immediately jacking off. Hey, what's up, buddy? Oh, he just nexted me.
We're getting clicked off.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
How's it going, dude?
it's going well.
Where are you?
In my home. Oh, you mean in general?
Yeah, in general.
No, I'm not in jail.
Oh, where are you in the world?
In Croatia.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Croatia?
We're in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, how's that?
It's pretty good. It's a little bit cold here. It's winter time.
You're about to see a dick.
Yeah, same here.
It's funny because like
Yeah.
he can't
Do you know about Igor Milicic?
Sorry, what?
Do you know Igor Milicic, the basketball player? He's from Croatia. Oh, he plays for Tennessee, real good.
Probably not.
Okay, well he's really good.
Yeah, I don't.
I believe he's on the national team.
Okay. I don't watch. Sorry.
Wait, are you into sports at all?
Nah.
What do you like to do?
Yes, you're in. What are you into?
What do I like to do?
Yeah.
Music.
Oh,
For
cool.
example.
What kind of music?
Am I in a radio studio?
Yeah. This is a radio studio. We do a podcast.
Nice.
We're called Macrodosing. We've got a lot of listeners in Croatia, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you purposefully check the Croatian mark here when you're searching for people?
I did not. No. Did I check the Croatian mark?
There's probably no Croatian mark because not a lot of people are here, I guess.
Yeah. So what are you? Oh, he nexted us. That conversation didn't go anywhere.
That wasn't too bad.
Seemed like a nice guy. Oh wait, we have another guy here. Oh wait, he just nexted us too.
Can't believe he didn't know Igor Milicic.
Bro, let your hair down, bro. You're not.
Hey, what's that guy was about to jack it in his truck.
You think?
Yeah, that guy was just chilling in the truck, and he had his hand on his belt, and then he saw us and immediately changed it.
No.
Okay.
He didn't have any Croatian soccer or anything. He didn't know anything.
Not a sports guy. That's okay. Croatian music, probably into techno, electronic stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to get into today?
I came across a wild story that broke in like 2015 that I hadn't heard of.
Okay.
There's a dude that was in a marriage, and she got pregnant, and he got a paternity test, and he turned out to not be the father, and she was insistent. She was like, I have messed up with anybody, and he was like, well, the paternity test says otherwise, and they ended up getting a divorce, and she was like adamant, so she just kept at it, and she found out that the father, which was the dude, kinda, he had DNA inside of his DNA from a paternal twin that never made it.
Oh shit.
And so the kid was 90% the paternal twin that didn't make it. And so he was actually the father. So he kind of is the father, but kind of isn't. And so that shit is a wild happenstance that I just came across.
So he had sex with a woman, but his brother...
His wife.
Yeah, he had sex with his wife, but his brother got his wife pregnant.
I mean, kind of. Basically, it's like the DNA passed from the father into the mother had the DNA of his paternal twin.
Okay. That's crazy.
It's fucking insane, dog.
Yeah, that the whole science behind like a twin absorbing another twin in the uterus is crazy shit. So you actually get some of their DNA.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect crime.
What? Wild story.
There's also I like that you brought that up because that's news to me too.
Yeah, that story broke in like 2015. I saw a tweet about it, and I was like, no way, that's true. And I looked it up, and I'm like, holy shit.
Damn. There was one other news story that I read a couple days ago about Google. And first of all, apparently they've got this new weather app that all I could find is press releases about it, but they say that they have the app that's done using AI technology to predict the weather. That's like way, 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 way better and more accurate than anything that we've ever had. Like a complete game changer when it comes to that. But you can't find the app anywhere. I guess it's not released to the public yet. You just have to take Google's word on it that they have this technology that they will soon be releasing. So that's interesting. But the more fascinating one is that they claim that they've developed a new computing chip named Willow.
I saw this, yes.
And it's as close to quantum computing as we've gotten. I don't know when you reach quantum computing, but basically the idea is like just super, 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 super fast processors that will one day make us like achieve the singularity of developing multiverses. So the one that they found named Willow, there's a computer challenge out there, and the fastest supercomputers right now to solve that challenge, it would take them 10 septillion years. So that's longer than the age of the universe. That's a number that you can't even really like comprehend now. And Google says that with this new chip, they can solve it in they can solve it in I think 5 minutes, as opposed to 10 septillion years.
Yeah, we're at the precipice. Because once quantum, I had a long talk with Chat GPT the other night, because this is the first time, like I'm subscribed to it, and this is the first time I've actually used the voice thing for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, couldn't sleep one night, and I started having a long conversation, and quantum computing came up, and like we're on the precipice of if this gets integrated into like our systems, it's gonna be insane how it's gonna have an effect on humanity.
Yeah.
It's like the ramifications are it's unfathomable what can happen.
So with this this Google team in 2019, they developed a processor that could solve a math equation in 3 minutes as opposed to 10,000 years on a supercomputer. So even from then, going from like a 10,000 year challenge down to 3 minutes, what they have, or they claim to have right now, is a 10 septillion year challenge done in 5 minutes.
Jesus.
Should we just stop? I feel like this is good stopping. I feel like this is a good stopping point for science, right? Like you're so close right now. You could just stop if you wanted to.
I mean, what else do we need? Maybe keep trying to find a cure for cancer.
Yeah.
But like in terms of
heart disease
technology that's just designed to just for the sake of enhancement,
just to compute things fast.
Right. I feel like we're doing pretty good.
We've already kind of ruined conversations when, for a long time, somebody could just be wrong about stuff and they would just never have anybody be like, no, you're wrong. Now you can get into an argument with somebody and immediately know who's right, who's wrong by looking it up online. We've already ruined that. Do we want to ruin thinking? Like, do you want to?
I would argue thinking has been ruined to a large degree as well.
Do we want to have to like learn stuff, or do we just want to have a computer that tells us all the time immediately what's right?
I like that. I'm not gonna lie. But again, there's no way to like. So I had a conversation with the AI, and I was like, how do you come up with what's right or what's wrong? Like, how do you decipher like true versus non-true?
Mm-hmm.
And it was explaining to me how it does it, and it like has reputable sources. It cross-references it with other sources and the data available with scientific research and all this stuff. And it's like that's a useful mechanism, but not everybody would follow that methodology. So what becomes true and not true becomes very subjective according to like your game plan about how to gauge truth. And that's dangerous as shit.
I'm thinking about what you just said about, do we want to learn or just have, information downloaded into your brain or whatever? I think society would crumble if is the implication of that like if we,
the Borg.
Huh?
We'd be the Borg.
Right. So if everyone is like hyper intelligent, that'd be the result of that, right?
I guess so. Like,
or
practical application would be, I'm going to a new restaurant tonight for dinner. I'm going to get in my car, and then directions are like in my brain.
Sure.
I get like an arrow that's like, go this way.
But like if everyone just has all this knowledge, like everyone, however you want to define intelligent, like everyone would be really smart.
You would still probably have people that lack critical thinking.
Okay.
I don't think so. How could you?
But you have all the information you could ever need.
I think you could lack creativity too.
Okay, but just
everything would be amplified.
Right.
So the problems that exist are extremely amplified, and the solutions would also be amplified. So like if you have an evil dude, he's going to be evil crazy, right? And to combat that, you would need extremely smart, combativeness.
But my point was, if everyone is like that, nobody is going to, like, the entire societal structure we have doesn't work. Like, nobody's going to go work in a restaurant if they're just as smart as a neurosurgeon.
Yep.
So now what do you do? Like, everybody can't be.
There's no more meritocracy.
Yeah.
Communism.
Develop your own crops. You know how to fix your plumbing. It would take care of a lot of those.
Right. Okay. So like, where do you get money?
I don't think you would need it. What would you need money for?
Buy a house, buy food.
Okay. Now,
I guess
I'm thinking if I have all the world's knowledge in my brain, I know that there's more than enough land to sustain. Right. So I have knowledge to build my own house. Like, I don't think.
But like, money would still be necessary. Like,
I don't think so. How would it be necessary? Because if we all have.
All right, how do you get the materials to build the house?
So this would be my, right? And it's kind of my utopia, actually, Big T. But if everybody's that smart, I think they would come to the conclusion that in order to survive, we need each other, right? Would you agree with that premise?
I guess.
You don't think so?
What does that mean?
So I think we would become more communal. And why I think we would become more communal, because you realized, like, elite level thinking, in my opinion, and this could be a bias of mine, but would be that the trivial stuff that we fight about is very it's very human in nature, right? Greed, power, like all of those things are not sustainable.
Okay.
Every kingdom has fallen, and so what is sustainable is like a community. Communities and culture always last. Art, that shit lasts, right? But and so if if we need materials, if people need the materials to build houses, then we would come up with ways to develop materials for the community. That would make more sense to me, rather than having ultimate ways to make the most money.
Yeah,
doesn't
maybe,
make
but I don't see how society shifts from what it is right now to just one where there's like no monetary incentive or necessity.
Okay, so when we were first cave dwelling people, the goal wasn't a house, right? The goal was survival. And so, and when all basic needs are taken care of, that's when humanity thrives. That's when a human thrives.
I'm not seeing where you're getting that all the basic needs are taken care of.
If okay, what do we need? We need housing, and we need food, and we need clothing, right?
Okay.
Would you agree we have more than an abundance of food to feed everybody?
For now, yeah.
So if everybody's super hyper intelligent, we would find even more efficient ways to feed everybody. So there would be no more hunger, because that's the basic need of a human, to wake up and eat. That's the basic.
Okay,
Food,
but like
clean
in
water.
this scenario, are just I don't know how to put what I'm saying very well. Like, does Chili's just go out of business now because
yeah.
So like restaurants just don't exist anymore?
Sure, yeah.
And like businesses like.
But I'm sure, because a lot of our business and a lot of our transactions are because of the need in the current society. And so once those needs are taken care of, it gets outdated. That should have.
Okay, so then I don't think you even disagree with me.
There's no more Blockbuster. There's no more Blockbuster.
Right. So So I think you agree with what I said, which is that if that were to happen, then the society that we have now would completely fall apart.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But I would argue for the better.
Potentially, like, we don't know, but so then we agree then.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to operate society as we do now if everyone was like super smart.
No, I don't think so. Because then you get into like different kind of moral questions, right? But yeah, I think a lot of what we have structure-wise is centered around the inefficiency or the inability for humans to fend for themselves.
Interesting.
It's that would be my goal, honestly. My societal goal for everybody to have.
I think if it worked
sets
the way you think it would, maybe, but I'm not convinced that that's how it would go.
We shall never know.
Maybe not while we're alive, but.
So do you think that the goal of humanity should be? What do you think the goal of humanity should, like a collective goal of humanity? Should we have an objective? Or should we just like fuck it? Each to each his own.
So you would say the objective is like community, which I don't disagree with.
Ultimately, yes, but like in order to get there, I think the goal of humanity right now should be to figure out how to feed everybody and house everybody. Like that should be the ultimate goal. It's obviously not, but I feel like that should be it. Yeah. And then after that, after everybody wakes up and is fed and has a place, I think the goal should be scientific in nature, but also artistic, right? So the goal should be, and this is pure utopia, but the goal should be to explore the world around us and the universe around us. That should be the goal. And then art, I think, is a very important part of society. Creation, theater, sport. Even sport can be considered an art. Cultural things. I think that is important for our society. And so I think those two things are paramount. But that's just my utopia.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I just think that's so far off from what we're at now that it's difficult to even like conceptualize that, because your goals as an individual right now are
survive,
make enough money to live the way you want to live, get it. That's the crux of it.
I 1,000% agree with you.
So yeah, I don't in theory disagree with you. It's just such a different world.
Yeah, it's far-fetched from where we're at now. Honestly, I think that's a big divide politically. That's what people on the left more so lean towards, is a communal aspect versus an individual aspect on the right.
Depends what you mean by communal, but yes.
I wouldn't mind paying higher taxes so that every kid can get a free education, right? People on the right would say no. Or even like people that have gotten an education. I'm okay with whatever tax revenue they want to use to absolve student loans or student debt. I would be okay with that. But
I would only say that the left extends its community much larger than the right does. Have you seen
I agree with that.
Have you seen the graph? It's like a heat map of, so they asked people on the right and the left, like, what do you care about most? And 1 is like yourself, your family, your wife, your children. 2 is like your best friends. 3 is your coworkers. So on and so forth.
Put God in there?
I think it was just interpersonal relationships. But then 9 and 10 was Syria and things of that nature. And right. the people on the right, the heat map is concentrated in 1, 2, and 3. And people on the left, it's in 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, I would say more so than not on a spectrum, people on the left view humanity at a larger scale, and people on the right think that immediate is more prevalent. I wouldn't disagree with that assessment, yeah.
Well, Eric up and left us. He went to, is he on the stream, I guess?
I'd imagine.
I think so, yeah.
So is that it?
He said, finish as you see fit.
Finish as if okay. I'm gonna take this last couple of minutes to say how horrible of a human Eric is.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Your lights are getting put up as we speak.
We need to dress him as a little gnome and have him come stuff my stocking.
Hey, yo.
I'm surprised they didn't take him away to the North Pole for the season.
That's what happened.
Time. I wanted to comment on one more thing. I sent y'all a text. Did you see the video I sent 30 minutes ago? It's of a mall in the 80s during Christmas. Mm-hmm. The death of the American mall is a travesty.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Look at
because even like Mackenzie and Madeline and I are old enough to remember like when malls were still cool.
Yeah.
And going
to hang out at the mall.
And you'd go see Santa at the mall and like and you go to a mall now, it's like
depressing.
Ugh.
Nope. I can't tell you the last time I had a reason to go to a mall.
Yeah, I don't
think.
I couldn't tell you the last thing I bought in person.
Yeah, I don't go to stores.
That's
even.
not
like
grocery
groceries,
store.
Yeah. I sometimes do. I'll like pop around every once in a while. The neighborhood that we live in has some good shopping.
I hate it. I hate shopping.
But yeah,
I've browsed with my kids before.
As a kid, it's fun for sure.
Yeah, I'll do it more when I'm like in between things. Like if I have to run errands or something, and I'm like, okay, I have like 25 minutes to kill or whatever. I'll see what's around and like pop in.
Yeah.
But
actually, I bought a book at a bookstore a few weeks ago.
But that's even different than like clothes.
I bought Hank Aaron's autobiography.
Okay.
Nice.
We were just at a bookstore and I saw it and it was $5 and I was like, I'll get this. I'm more of an audiobook guy normally, but
I just rearranged my entire library. I went with alphabetical.
How many books do you have?
I don't know that I counted. Here, I'll just send a I took a video of it because I was like super proud. I drank some coffee and decided to just reorganize everything. I cannot find it. I have so many fucking memes though.
That's the reason.
Yeah, I just collect them at will. It's just
if you had to estimate how many memes are on your phone.
I think I can give you that number. Oh, okay. Hey, you can actually, this is to see. You can guess. I actually have that.
You have
I would guess. I'd guess 2,500.
25. Oh, let me see. 2,500 memes. Let's go to the meme folder.
That's between still and video.
Oh, it's not that much.
500.
463 video and 386 photos.
Damn.
That is a lot, though.
That is a lot.
I mean, you seem to have one for every single situation.
And sometimes they're ones I've never seen. Like, they're like unique ones.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Deep
I found the book. Peep this. So amazing. I was like super proud of it because for years they've just been everywhere. And now they are all consolidated alphabetically. Me and my daughter did it together. So fun. Because I just finished my bookshelf too. Look at that.
Looks good.
Look at that.
I like the smoky gray bookshelf.
You like that? Thank you, man. See, my problem with my house is it doesn't have a woman's touch. So every time a woman comes over, they're like, yo, you need to do something with this. Like, it's very like prison vibey.
Oh.
And I'm like, damn, I thought I killed this shit, but they're never impressed. And it's kind of depressing. But
I don't think you're alone in that. Like, I don't think that's just a you thing, though.
In like decor?
Like, I just think like if guys are decorating a space by themselves, most of the time, obviously there's exceptions to that rule, but like most of the time, if they're decorating it with like no women involved, it's not like, even if it turns out like and it looks nice, there is a certain je ne sais quoi a woman can bring to it sometimes.
Women make your house a home.
That's so true, Arian.
Yeah.
Unless you're two gay men that live together, then you can still have a home.
Yeah, they be slaying that shit.
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, people that rock. I haven't done graffiti in years, but I used to doodle all the time.
Did you make that?
Yeah, while we were recording today. You see that? Do you know what it says?
I'm trying to...
Macro?
Action?
Yeah, look at you. It says macro.
Hang on. Where's the M?
On the...
Oh, is it tilted a little bit?
Yeah. If you're reading this or listening to this.
Boom.
Oh, now I see it.
It's like a graffiti tag for macro.
And then the A is right here.
I see the
Boom.
CRO.
Oops.
Yeah.
Boom. CRO. Yeah. Boom. Macro. I used to do graffiti on walls when I was growing up.
That's really good.
Yeah, shout out to me.
Yeah.
All right, man. That does it for today's episode. Thank you guys for being with us. I hope you're prepping for your holiday madness, eating healthy so that you can jump off that ship when Christmas comes and the holiday. We see y'all on Tuesday for a Nanodosing. Peace.